to bail me out this shit.
Okay.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. I'm sorry again, bro. Like,
I think honestly, I think we're gonna try to because obviously, like the longer you're in there, the more hot it's gonna get. Because it's already on. Like, there's no names released yet, but the report is already out.
but like,
So
out is what? What you mean out?
it's on some app. Megan's team is on top of this. So,
Yeah, but like, niggas don't. There's no way that Megan's on like the thing.
what'd you say?
There's no way that Megan's like on the thing.
You're listening to Street TV.
No. So far, none of that is there. But I mean,
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be one of those. If anything, the only nigga that's gonna get this backlash is me. It's not gonna be her. But
yeah,
no,
I'll
for
let
you.
you know.
Alright, it is what it is. Regardless if I get out of here today or not, bro, I just want to let y'all know, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I never did that shit if I wasn't that drunk, bro. Like, you feel me?
Yeah.
You have 1 minute remaining for this call.
All right, so listen here, bro. So I ain't want to stop it when I play that one through because next one's pretty long. All right, so Ninja, when you first heard this, what was your reaction? Like, what was your thoughts?
I'm trying to figure out what he apologizing for.
And that when he started apologizing, I'm like, come on, bro. First, I'm like, bro, you got to know you was being recorded, bro. And the second thought, like, damn, bro, like, you gonna make niggas like me look fucking crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, hold on, let me say this. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. A lot of females people been sending me this shit talking about, oh, you owe Meg an apology. I don't owe nobody a motherfucking apology. I don't know this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. He really did it. I ain't apologizing for shit. I said what the fuck I said. But yeah, man. I was like, well, damn, what he's apologizing for? So I was like, okay, it's one of the few things he'll apologize for. He apologized like if he actually shot her. Is he apologizing that fucking around with Meg or fucking around with Kylie? Like it could have been a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, I want to hear what you thought when you first heard this.
Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
All right. So, really, I know it kind of hit different when you hear it, but not too long after the situation happened, you are already seeing that they had reports of what was said. You know what I mean? They had it transcribed for you to read what he said and all of that. So I don't know. My mind still ain't changed. He didn't say what he was apologizing for. Neither did she. So I'm still not gonna say he popped her because of that. That's my initial thoughts. I'm still going where I need more proof.
Right. All right, then. So I want to just play that so for the audience, like so we could just build up to the next video. So the next video, right? And now we could stop at certain points, you know what I'm saying? This is like an hour, so I'm gonna try to let this just play it as long as possible, but there's gonna be some times I might stop it. Any point where y'all want me to stop, please let me know. I will stop it because there's some shit on here, man. So this next video is when Kelsey she did it. She was getting basically an interview to the prosecutors, right? And she just explaining her side of the story and what she saw. It's a totally different story what she said, what I'm saying, in court last week. Last week, she said that she lied about seeing Tory with a gun and seeing Tory shoot Megan and all this other shit. But when the incident happened, it was another story. So let's check this out real quick. Yo, JVJ, man, tell people where they can find you and shit.
Man, y'all know to come find me over on man, why my mic so loud? Come find me over on Let's Talk with JVJ. Y'all catch us on Tuesdays over on J Talk Sports. And every Saturday and Sunday, JVJ. Oh, and Wednesday, JVJ Network. We over there doing something. Come follow us over there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What about you, man? Plug
You
your
already
shit real
know,
quick.
out from the north, 18, the number 18 that is. Come holler at your boy, man. Make sure y'all subscribe. Got that real shit over there. Carry on the same real shit we got over here, what we know. You know what I'm saying? No playing games. Chill.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's get to this video, man. A lot of shit. Let's go.
And spell your name for me, please, Karen.
Darien, last name Smith.
And then we also have two individuals appearing by speakerphone. And could you folks just state your name for the recording?
Dominic Kelly. Don Worley with McDonald Worley.
Great, thank you so much.
I will ask them to spell their names, if not now, then later.
You're listening to Street TV.
It wasn't quite clear to me for the second person. Okay, thank you. All right.
So we're here to talk about the events that occurred back in July of 2020, July 12th, 2020. And can I call you Kelsey?
Yes.
Kelsey, why don't we just start with how did you come to know Megan Pete?
We met in college. We attended Prairie View University together, and that's where we established our relationship.
So how long have you known her at the time of the incident in July of 2020? How many years do you think?
I would say roughly around 6 to 7 years.
And how would you describe the nature of your relationship? Were you friends? Were you work associates?
Yes, we were friends. And of course, you know, as she grew into her career as an artist, I came along as an assistant or a team player, best friend.
How long did you work with her as an assistant, would you say?
From 20, I don't know the exact years, but maybe late 2018 or early 2019 up until the incident.
And what were you and Megan doing out in Los Angeles on July 12th, 2020?
I actually had returned back to Los Angeles. I had came back from Houston after coming over the coronavirus. She had told me to come back. We were shooting a music video to WAP with Cardi B that week. So that is why we were back in LA.
Okay. And
I want to make a correction. We went back to LA after we were staying in New York for a little while filming. Once the pandemic broke out, we were supposed to travel overseas. Overseas got closed down, so we ended up relocating to LA.
Now, when you say relocating, was the plan that you were going to temporarily be staying in LA for a period of time?
Correct.
Okay. And what was the plan as far as how long you were going to be staying there?
Until the pandemic was, over, and so everybody was back free to continue on with their, lives.
Were you guys staying together or in separate?
We were together. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And as far as this particular night, was there any event or anything going on?
There was no event. So we had actually got invited by Kylie Jenner to come over to her home to hang out. It wasn't like a party invitation. So we made plans to do that. So we just went and attended Kylie's invitation.
And going to Tory Lanez, how long did you know him for this whole thing?
We actually had met earlier 2020.
And when you say we, I guess I should probably, when you say we, are you referring to both of you and Meg met him around the same time?
Correct.
Okay.
Early 2020, we attended a brunch, a Rock Nation brunch, and that's where we all met.
Okay. And then what would you say was the relationship with Tory, between you, Meg, and Tory, up until that night at least?
Everything was okay. There was no issues.
You're listening
the
to Street
relationship
TV.
between me and Tory, it was one of those situations you flirt. This is somebody that Megan wanted me to, I guess have an involvement with. I ended up catching the virus. Actually, I went back to Houston. Her lease was up with her apartment. Got her apartment situated, caught the virus, and I stayed there. And I guess between that time, Megan and Tory became close. I don't know what the relationship was, but they were with each other often, and that was that.
Okay.
And then you came back out and met back up with them in California.
Correct.
How long would you say you're back out in California before this night in July?
Less than a week, if not a week, less than a week.
Were you staying with Meg at the time?
Hold on real quick, Rob, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I
and
got
then
you.
that night you said you guys got an invitation from Kylie.
Yeah, bro. Tell me when to stop whenever, bro. What's up?
Y'all notice how they just really bypass them talking about Kelsey, like was they fucking or anything?
Yeah, they did.
They really went bypass that like really, really quick. I mean, where she didn't say nothing about it and they just let it keep going. I just found that kind of I just wanted to point that out real quick.
Yeah, because I think because she kind of say, well, you know, she introduced Megan introduced them as like on some flirting shit. So maybe that shit went over their head. Maybe it was like, hey, you know, they just meeting. You know how people meet. You know, somebody introduce you with a girl, you might be flirting and shit. So maybe at that time, maybe they were like, okay, it's nothing serious at that time. It's probably nothing to even look into.
Yeah, because I think they trying to not get into them having a sexual relation, then leading up to Meg and Tory having a sexual relationship.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. But you know, hey, but we knew that though. We all knew that, hey, you know, Meg introduced them, you know. So I mean, Meg introduced Kelsey to Tory. So I mean, this shit crazy.
We didn't get the invitation that night. We received the invitation at the music video, which I believe that was maybe 2 days prior to the July 12th, or maybe a day prior to. And so yeah.
So did you go to Kylie's house with Meg?
Correct. She asked me to come with her.
Okay. Who else besides you and Meg went to Kylie's house?
In our party, our group, it was me, Megan, and her stylist, EJ King.
Okay. And then, do you remember about what time you got there?
I want to say around 6, 7 p.m. I believe that's the time we finally got there.
Okay. And so once you got there, what was everyone doing?
So once we got there, it was, you know, I want to say maybe 6 people that Kylie already had present. Megan volunteered to cook nachos, and so she actually began to cook nachos, and we were all outside just interacting.
Hey, I had to pause it. That's the go-to meal when you out and about, you know what I'm saying, drinking and shit, nachos. I just had to say that shit. I'm sorry.
Acting, and then we began to play beer pong.
Oh, there's a pool outside too, right?
There's a pool.
Okay. So you guys were all hanging out. You said Kylie had maybe about 6 or so people there already at the house.
Correct.
Do you know who any of those people were?
Yes. Well, I didn't know them until that night.
Oh, I see. Okay. Were any of them Tory though at the time you arrived?
No.
Okay. Who were the other 6 people, if you remember?
So her 3 best friends, I believe one, his name was Faye or Phi. Well, the other guy, I can't remember his name. There was a female friend of hers, Kris Jenner's husband or boyfriend, Odell Beckham, and Odell Beckham's friend. Actually, 9 people, and then a guy by the name of, what's his name? Their sons to a celebrity was 2, so 9 people.
Okay. So everyone's hanging out. Sounds like everyone's having fun. People were drinking.
Yes.
Okay. And then what goes on as the night carries on?
So, you know, we were playing beer pong, having a great time. Played, you know, she has a basketball court out there also. We played basketball. Megan was cooking. She came out, and she was just like, oh, y'all having fun without me. And we were like, well, come join us, you know. And so she joined us. We were all enjoying ourselves. Of course, we ended up into the pool, having fun, enjoying ourselves from there. Everybody's still having fun, drinking, consuming alcohol. That's kind of when the night just began to, I guess, go left a little.
Okay. And when you say go left, what do you mean?
So.
Hey, pause right there.
It was a point in time where
Were you guys staying?
Oh,
were you guys staying together or?
I went back a little bit, but I fast forward.
Are you good? Shit. She said something that caught my ear. Why did she get him? Op alluded to it earlier. she's kind of like, well, the investigators are just letting her talk, and she's kind of glossing over things that we know happened that night.
Right.
Why did she go out of her way to say that Megan came out there saying, "Oh, y'all having fun without me"?
You know what, bro? I ain't even think about that part.
I'm thinking about the only reason I thought about it because I was gonna wait for a second because then she went into that's when things went left. So she's trying like the way I know how they're grabbing it. Things went left when I'm guessing Tory's about to show up.
Yeah. So I see what you're saying because it make it seem like Meg was like showing jealous, like she was jealous already, you know. And when she saw that she, you know, they was having fun, that's
Like,
when the
what,
problem probably started.
That's when I think the whole night's about to get going now.
Yeah.
But
that shit is weird. Like, if you cooking some fucking nachos, like what the fuck you expect people to? And maybe she was being sarcastic. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
You know.
She wants y'all to sit in that kitchen with her while she cooking them nachos.
Or she was like, well, she probably was saying, "Oh, you having fun with my nigga."
But Tory wasn't there yet, was he?
He was there.
He was there.
No, he wasn't there. He wasn't there yet.
Oh, he wasn't there yet.
Okay.
All right.
Point of time where I lost my conscience, and due to the alcohol consumption.
Do you know? I mean, it's hard to say because you're losing consciousness, but do you remember about what time it was?
We weren't following up with the time, honestly. We weren't following up with the time. We were having a great time.
Did you get a sense of how long you've probably at least been there before you started, maybe kind of losing out on?
I would say about maybe 10, 11, somewhere around there. I'll say that. That's not, I don't know how accurate that is. So by the time I came back to my senses, Tory's now here, but everybody's gone. Everybody's gone, and so now it's just me, Megan, Tory, EJ, the stylist, and Kylie, of course.
You have listening to Street TV. What time it was when you came to?
No, again, I wasn't following up with the time. So.
But you were awake and lucid when Tory showed up.
When Tory, I wasn't there. Like, I didn't know when Tory showed up. I can't tell you what time Tory showed up. To my knowledge, Megan called a few people on FaceTime and asked him to come over.
When you kind of came to, though, you saw him there. How were you feeling there at that point?
I was aware. Okay. I was okay.
Okay.
So now we're still in the pool. It's Kylie, Tory, and Megan. They're kind of in like an area. I'm actually in the hot tub at this point. I believe that was a hot tub. I can't remember if that was a hot tub or just a smaller pool she has. EJ is sitting. She has like a cabana style setup. Mm-hmm. He's sitting over there on his phone. So we're all just kind of just minding our business. You can hear at the end of the pool, Megan is just like laughing uncontrollably. And it wasn't normal. I never heard her laugh like this, so you can kind of tell something was wrong. Tory did call for my name, and I acted like I didn't hear it. And Megan was like, no, come back. I heard that, but Tory was going between Megan and Kylie, and EJ said, Kelsey, it's time to go. Like, let's go. It's getting late. The alcohol consumption, it's time to go. So I said, okay, I told Megan, hey, let's go. And she didn't want to leave. So I just went upstairs. I was going to go pack our suitcases because Kylie when we got there, Kylie led us to a room where we can change and hang out and sleep or whatever. So I went upstairs to pack our suitcases. They were already packed. EJ had packed them. So I put my, it's like a pajama set on. It's a top and a bottom. So I put my set on. I came back downstairs. I loaded EJ's vehicle, who we rode with. I loaded his vehicle with our suitcases. And, at that point, I went back in. She wasn't ready to go. So me and EJ stayed outside. I sat inside of the car with Tory's security.
Do you know that guy's name?
Quan.
Okay. Quan. Now, he was security. Was he also basically Tory's driver, too?
Tory's security driver friend. kind of just playing all of the roles right.
Did you know him before this date, Quan?
I honestly had never met Quan.
Okay, that was the first time.
That was my first time meeting Quan.
Did you know, was he like local to LA or did he travel with Tory? Do you know?
I know he didn't travel with Tory because, like I said, that was my first time meeting him. I don't know when Quan came in or how long they've been acquainted, or he was just there for that night. I can't tell you.
So he had a separate car.
Tory had a separate car.
And that's the car you got into?
That's the car I got into. I sat in the front seat. Quan sat in his driver's seat. And I was actually on FaceTime with my sister, and we were talking, and, just kind of one of those things like, girl, I can't believe we're here. We used to watch this growing up.
Yeah.
So, we're talking regular talk. And then so EJ says, Kelsey, tell Megan it's time to go. Her wig is coming off of her head. So at that point, it's like, okay, no, we have to go because her appearance isn't, it's not holding up correctly.
Yeah.
So I went inside and I said, Megan, let's go. She didn't even know her wig was coming off. And I said, your wig. So that made her come on and get up out the pool.
When she said that shit, I died. She didn't even have to say that shit.
See, that's why I'm wondering why she's saying certain stuff when she's saying certain stuff. Like, you brought up the wig. She said the wig like 3-4 times.
Yes, bro. She was like,
the wig was coming off. Wasn't looking right. She didn't know the wig was coming off.
Bro, she ain't shit. We talk about girls like that anyway, but damn, you ain't have to say all that shit.
And she put that out there for a reason. There's a lot of pettiness going on in between. Even when she said Megan said something or Tory said something and she acted like she didn't hear it, but she heard it.
Yeah.
Why you giving them that? Why you giving them that information?
Yeah.
That's irrelevant, right?
It's irrelevant to the situation.
It means something that's going on. And I'm like, okay. And then on top of that, the investigators are just asking broad questions. They fishing like crazy right now.
Yeah. And when people do that shit, it's like, all right, when people do shit like that, like what Kelsey did, right, bringing up shit is irrelevant. To me, I was like, okay, I know it had. Okay, where's your shit at? I know you. Okay, you ain't perfect either. You know what I'm saying? You holding something back that you did. You know what I'm saying? You I don't know. You all low key hating on Meg, or whatever. You mad at Meg at this point? You just want to be petty? I don't know.
Yeah, it showed there's something going on in between there.
Yo, Op, you got something to say about this so far?
Nah, keep rolling the tape.
You rolling the tape.
Sound like jive.
So Tory stayed in with Kylie. So we come outside. This time, we're making our plans to leave. I guess at some point she tells EJ, no, Tory's taking us home. So they transferred the luggage from EJ's car to Tory's car. And so once they did that, Megan jumped in the front seat. Now Quan's driving, and I'm in the back seat behind Megan.
And EJ just drives off in his own car, correct?
Not just yet.
Okay.
So
if you're watching the video, please like the video, man. If you're at JBJ channel, like the video. You're on What We Know podcast, like the video, man. Thank you.
I want to be clear and make sure I'm not losing my. Okay, so once we do that, Megan, she tells Quan to get Tory, it's time to go. So Quan goes in to grab Tory. We stay in the car. Tory comes out and he's like, no, take them home. His demeanor was, he didn't want to get in the car. Why? I don't know.
Tory didn't want to get in the car.
Did
he seem upset at all?
It wasn't that he was upset. I think he wasn't upset. He did not want to get in the car. He didn't want to get in the car with us. Like I said, at that point, I'm not aware of why. So anyways, we leave. So Tory stays at the house with Kylie. It's me, Quan, and Megan. So we leave.
EJ follows out behind us. He goes home because there's no reason for him to follow us. He's going home. So as we're leaving, Megan is still doing this laugh. I'm kind of just in the back seat, just like, I don't know, just in the back seat. And then I guess she realizes that she had left a slipper, a Louis Vuitton slipper slide that she wears. And so she demanded Quan to take us back to Kylie's. And so we pull up to Kylie's house and everybody's kind of confused. Her security guards are outside, probably like 6 security guards.
You're talking about Kylie's security guards?
Correct. And he calls to see if it's okay. We come back and they let us in. So once they let us in, Megan jumps out the vehicle. I stay in the vehicle. Quan follows behind Megan. So it's just me at this point.
Oh, Quan actually gets out of the car with Meg.
Right.
Okay.
So they're inside. It's for a little moment. Then immediately they rush out. Everybody rushes out.
Who's everybody? Okay.
Tory, Quan, Megan. Kylie, she comes out, but she stays on her porch, or her door entry. So Megan jumps back in the front seat. Tory gets in the car, which is now he's behind Quan. He's behind the driver. I'm still behind the front passenger. And Megan says, sorry, I got to cuss, but she says, bitch. Kylie said, we got to get the fuck out of here. And I was like, what? Like, why? And so Quan was like, they were in their
You're
argument.
listening to Street TV.
I guess Tory and Megan. And so what they were arguing about, I don't know. So it was kind of like, oh, okay. And now we're leaving.
And so Megan's in the front, Quan's driving, you're in the back.
You on mute, Rob.
Man, my bad, bro.
Nah, you good. Go ahead.
But no, I was saying, now that she just said that Tory and Meg was arguing, right? And that's why Kylie told him to leave. I'm wondering they was arguing about because they said Tory was flirting with Kylie too. So I wonder if was they arguing about that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I tell you what I know it is, but I can't prove it.
What up?
They was arguing about Tory not getting in the car and coming because he was in there trying to smash Kylie.
Private. Oh,
Meg didn't like that. Meg, look, I'm just leave it alone. But yeah,
you already fucking my best friend. You want to fuck another bitch too?
So the sad part is she put her best friend on that man. So I'm like, I don't know how the lady's sitting around like defending Meg because like it came out just so everybody know. It came out in the court where Megan kept lying about saying when Tory before he got that gag order, and a lot of people were putting it out there that she was messing around with Tory. She was like, no, I wasn't. Well, guess what? She was messing around with Tory. She was messing around with Ben Simmons. She was messing around with the baby. And these are all people that she was trying to put on her homegirl. So I'm just leave that there.
Yeah. Hey, anybody that's watching, we did put a link in the chat. You want to come through, talk about it, give your input. More than welcome, people. You know
Don Q, the Don GQ came and said he keeps saying this shit. I was never here. He did say it was good.
Maybe Tory should have said that shit.
I was never there, man.
I ain't never fucked none of these bitches.
No.
Hey, let me ask you that. You know, is Tory it's kind of lame that he fucked both of them bitches at the same time. Like,
I don't think it's lame. Look, man, that's the funny thing about it. Cause I don't believe he probably tried to like approach him and see what it was. Like, you know how dudes try to fill it out and see if they got a chance with a chick. And then some dudes will fall back. Some dudes just keep on pressing here. I believe money with every chick that he comes across, he'll test the waters and see what it's like.
Yeah, because
if they give him a little bit kickback, he gonna try to smash. Megan just messy though. You can't keep going behind your friend's back having sex with the guys you keep putting her on to, or that you know that she messing with.
Exactly.
That's one thing I don't get. Like the ladies, all these ladies talk all this nonsense, talking about all this sad stuff. I'm like, you know, this girl was snaking her friend multiple times.
Yeah, she was.
Like that came out in court. Like y'all just gonna gloss over that shit. I'm like, all right.
Shit was wow. Wow. Let's go.
the back seat behind Quan.
Megan.
Or behind Megan, and Tory's behind Quan.
Correct.
Okay.
So we're leaving. We're driving. You know, going down the road. Megan is laughing still. It's like an uncontrollable laugh. And just out of curiosity, you know, I want to know what's funny. So I'm like, what is funny? Like, what is going on? And Tory, that's when Tory butts in, and he's
Actually,
like,
Rob, real quick.
yeah,
I got
like,
you,
why
got
don't
you,
tell your
got you,
best friend
got you.
what's so funny?
So I forgot to say something about it. She said when they went outside, was waiting for Meg and Tory to come out at first. She said at first she said she was out there with EJ talking, but did you notice that she also said she was sitting in the car in Tory's car with the driver waiting for waiting for them to come out? Did you notice she said that?
Yeah, man.
So
Like
I'm
I
thinking
said, bro. Yeah. Oh no, go ahead, bro.
So I'm thinking like she probably had plans to try to sneak off with Tory because they gonna tie this in later because I listened to the whole audio earlier. So because this also came out saying something about she told her to fall back or something from Tory because they're gonna do business together. So I'm thinking, is that the reason why when Tory was calling for her the first time, she acted like she was ignoring him in front of Megan? Just that's kind of, I'm kind of curious about that because it's like the prosecution is just letting everything slide in this, and I know it's supposed to be just a testimony, you know, the testimony or whatever, but it's like y'all ain't giving no pushback whatsoever, and y'all notice too, she keep throwing a lot of shade at Meg when she's out there laughing uncontrollable. I'm trying to figure out why.
You know what? Maybe, you know, I just thought about you just saying that, bro. I wondered that she got mad. Maybe Tory liked the Megan more than her, and she knew that. And maybe that just, I don't know. Maybe that made her kind of jealous in a way.
Man, we got a good old fashioned love triangle, gentlemen.
Like for real though, because what you say is some real shit, bro. Because Megan introduced Tory to Kelsey. Somebody got to somebody got to put that shit on mute real quick.
Goddamn op.
Yeah, I hear.
It's always op. It's always op.
He muted me already.
I can't mute you.
I got you.
There you go. But yeah, it's op. It's always op.
You know, I'm over here drinking. I could have just mute you, but my bad. But
who got that echo, nigga? I feel you on that.
But no, man, like that. But I made a good point, bro. Like, cause Meg introduced Tory to Kelsey. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't know, maybe you can't tell me that Meg ain't giving no type of sign, but like you said, bro, like niggas with money would probably shoot they shot, see how far they could go and shit. Maybe he liked it. Maybe he liked the Meg the whole time. Maybe he didn't really want to get with Kelsey, you know? And maybe that fucked her up. You know
what I think it really is? Dude, just look, Megan's famous. Kelsey looks better. He introduced you to Kelsey. You got that. He ain't trying to settle down with none of these chicks. And the sad part is both of them both should have known that. So I'm just like, y'all, I think the mindset they be in, they just be having a good time, but they don't understand how messy this stuff can be. Like, Meg, you should have told your homegirl what it was from the get-go if you knew you was gonna try to go and get hit by this dude. Because that's what she did. As soon as Kelsey got sick and went back to Texas, that's when Meg went over there and tried to get at Tory. And that's when he smashed her. Yeah. It ain't like she was doing it while her friend was around. She did it behind her friend back. But like, and look, I ain't gonna knock Tory, but I don't hang around dudes like him that just be trying to hit everything he can hit. It's like, dude, you're a grown ass man. Man, you ain't gotta be like a squirrel trying to get a nut, bro.
But hey, man, when niggas got that, and I never had like the money and power. But maybe the money and power, man, make niggas think, hey, bro, they just really invisible out here. Hey, like, bro, they don't give a fuck about the consequences, you know. Because why you think, like, when you hear slavery getting in certain troubles, but regular people might, like us, be like, man, why the fuck this person do that? But maybe that money and power make niggas go stupid where, hey, man, niggas can't touch me. I can do what I want, you know.
Yeah. Motherfucker get arrogant. They get that Icarus mentality and, you know, fly too close to the sun. They think they can just do whatever the hell they gonna do. Like, ain't nothing gonna affect them. Like, shit. That's why I was telling dudes, like, man, be very mindful now. Dudes got to be smart. Like learn, like regardless of however we all feel about it, whether we think Tory did it or Tory didn't do it. Men have to move smarter.
We do.
They have to, no matter what.
That's why I'm glad I turned down bitches already now when I'm broke. So when I get rich, y'all will. It ain't gonna be hard.
I ain't gonna want it.
I mean, my favorite thing to say, bro. JT said it yesterday's show. Man, a lot of this shit, like when we talk about, hey, men under attack and shit, like men, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, we get treated wrong. Hey, a lot of that is because of men, bro. A lot of it's our fault. And one of the reasons why, because JT said it, bro, we can't keep our damn dick in our pants, bro. You know, we gotta we want the baddest bitch, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We want this type of girl to look this way, this ass, you know. You know, it get to a point, bro, like, man, look, you know, I ain't gonna tell niggas like, hey, wait for marriage, none of that shit, bro. But man, if she ain't like, you don't see her to being your wife, you know, to be the mother of your child, man, you should think twice about fucking that bitch. Unless y'all really just have an understanding of what the fuck it is. You know what I'm
Dudes
saying?
gotta be smart.
Gotta
Dudes
be
gotta be
smart.
smart, man. Motherfuckers can't be thinking with your dick 24/7.
And
I be
fuck,
seeing dudes
yeah.
like that, and I be looking at them funny, man. I was talking to Op about this shit earlier, man. Seeing dudes that just got the mindset this is gonna smash everything. Like, dude, I turned down more pussy than I did when I was out here trying to chase it down. It ain't about that.
But you know what? But you know what, bro? A lot of niggas ain't getting. You know, we talk about this all the time, man.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas don't get. It's hard for niggas to get pussy, bro. You know, we grown now. We ain't. We know shit. We in the 30s, you know. But shit, wind it back when you was shit a young nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Hiding the pants.
You know.
Just like the girls, hiding the pants.
Hiding the motherfucking pants, nigga. We ain't give a fuck if the bitch was a fucking 2 in the face, nigga.
Man, look, the club about to close, so I need something before I leave a bit.
Hey, what's that mean with Denzel? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with
just being real, man. Yeah. It ain't even shit.
Yeah, man. But yeah, let's play a little bit of video. But that's a good fucking point, Op. Good fucking point.
Why don't you tell her how fake you are? And so I'm confused because this was random. And so I said, what? Like, what are you talking about? And Megan's like, Kelsey, don't listen to him. He's just trying to make you mad. And so I'm like, what are you talking about? You know? And you know, next thing you know, the arguing, you know, began with Tory and Megan. They're arguing, they're taking jabs at each other. He's calling her out her name. He's calling her, like, I've never heard him.
And it's like one more thing, bro. She making herself look like she's just innocent. Like, you know, like she's not involved what's going on. Like, she's not involved in none of this shit. Like, come on now. Like, and that's why she's full of, like, I feel like she's full of shit. You know what I'm saying? She's full of shit too.
All of them, man.
All of them. Yeah.
I love me. See, we got Marcus up in the building. You know, Marcus tell like everybody.
This. You know, so
hold on. Show love to Marcus. I can't. What up, though, Marcus? You know, so I put the link in the chat, bro. If you want to tune in, you got an opinion about it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man.
Keep grinding.
Honestly, recall like verbatim, he was definitely calling her like bitches and hoes and. So, you know, I stepped in and I said, you know, you're not going to talk to my friend like that. You know, like, I don't care what y'all got going on, but you're not going to talk to her like that in front of me. So he got offended and now me and him are arguing. And we're you know, honestly, when I argue, I can say things that are hurtful too. So he was saying mean things, so I was saying mean things back to him. And
do you remember any of the exchange?
I'm about to get to what I do remember. He began to say, you know, I'm from, like, he just started like, I'm from Canada, like, basically, I guess insinuating that they're gangsters or something. I don't know. I'm from Canada, my nigga. Like, do you know? And I'm like, okay, and like, so, you know, now we're just going back and forth. It's like I'm going back and forth with him. He's going back and forth with Megan. And he said, my nigga, I'll shoot you. And so
he said that to you?
He said that to me. So he reached, like he was going to grab something. He reached towards the middle console, but he never pulled anything out. So
now, can you describe the middle console on the car?
All right. This one is sound funny. He said, nigga, I'm from Canada, nigga. I'll shoot you. Like, I'm sorry, it's hard for me to believe that's just how it just went down. Like, and
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm thinking it's more so like I'll pop a nigga type the way he said it, flexing like nigga, I'll pop a nigga, nigga. What the fuck you mean, nigga? I'm from my hood, wherever. It
yeah.
just to jump to that. Then she skipped the part where he says, "Hey, bitch, didn't you backdoor your best friend?" She skips that part and then her starting to argue with Megan. If you notice throughout this shit, she never talks about when they argue.
Never. But you know what? They do talk about tours like the internet shit, but I don't know. Like, maybe I've been around hood niggas, right? We all probably have. We all have. Shit. I never met a hood nigga that fucking just told a girl, I don't give a fuck what she on. Just say, I'm from I'm from this side. I shoot you, bitch. If a nigga want to shoot a bitch, he ain't got to explain none of that shit.
Just gonna do it.
Niggas gonna do it. Like, it's, I don't know, man.
They didn't sound right when she said that's what he said.
And you know why? And you know what? Listen to this. Then she came out last week talking about, well, she lied about everything she said. So,
Yeah,
part.
like untrustworthy witness.
There's like I assume like some type of flat cover or
Correct.
and then when he reached towards it, you just saw what? His hand moving?
Yeah, it was just a motion that he reached. He never opened it or, so it was just a motion. So
This
I was
bitch
like,
sound real
okay,
calm.
if you shoot me, then I guess it's my time to go. Like,
What you say,
No, I just said this bitch sound real calm to be talking about some shit like this.
Yeah, she is, bro. I damn near shit. At least Megan, at least tried to fake cry, like, or something, sound emotional. It sound like, man. Look, I don't want to sound like some shit that she just thought of. She made up for sure. Like, she too damn calm.
like, and if you shoot me, just know I have people who will ride behind me, in my support, and he's like, he's just talking mess still, him and Megan, me and him. So then Megan, I guess we're on Sunset Boulevard at this time, and Megan demands for, sorry, that's mine.
You're wearing mine.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Megan demands for Quan to pull the vehicle over. So we pull over and we're actually by a bus stop. Megan jumps out the vehicle, Tory follows behind her, Quan stays in, I stay in. Because it's just like we're in the middle of a road, like we're just arguing. This is, So Tory and Megan, they sit at the bus stop. They have, I don't know what conversation they had, a conversation if any, but when they got back in the vehicle, it was calm. Tory then began to.
When they got back in the vehicle, do you remember where everyone was?
Yes, sorry. Megan got back in the front seat. Tory got back in behind Quan, so behind the driver's seat. So it was calm. Everybody was calm. Tory then began to apologize to me. And he's just like, I'm sorry, Kelsey, you're just a real ass nigga, and I had to tell you. And I'm like, what? Right, and so I'm like, but he's saying it loud. And so Megan can hear this. So that kind of stirred her back up. So now they're arguing back together. At this point, it's uncontrollable. Can't stop
And
it.
do you remember anything at this point that was being said between them?
At this point, they're arguing about each other's artistry as a career as an artist. She's telling him like you're only this and that because you're on a remix with Jack Harlow, and he's telling her things about her career as an artist, which I can't remember what he was telling her, but they just started hitting each other with their careers as an artist. So now we're at the final, the next stop where the incident occurs, and this time Tory demands Quan to let us out. He's like, let these hoes out, let these bitches out the car. This is my car. And so we're like, okay, we'll get out. So he pulled the car over, and everything here transpires. Megan jumps out of her seat, which is the front seat. I open up my door, which I'm behind Megan. And when you're getting out of a vehicle, you're not really just like looking at any direction. You're just kind of getting out the vehicle, you know? Especially, we didn't expect anything to happen next, so we're just getting out the vehicle. I get out of my side, and
real quick, Rob.
no sooner do you know.
Yeah.
You notice how she skipped to that part and was like, he said, "Oh, I just had to tell you because you're a real ass nigga." Like,
Yeah.
the prosecutor didn't say nothing about telling you what to tell you. Like, they just sliding past pivotal points that need to be questioned. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking like, how does the jury listen to all this? And that's fine. What they argued about has nothing to do with it. So they take all of that shit out. And then she said something earlier. She was like, I'm trying to be careful, make sure I don't lose my place. I'm like, is this bitch reading something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out real quick.
And maybe the prosecutor, they try to just, I don't know how prosecutors roll, but you know, just from watching like fucking movies, I'm gonna just go by that, right? You know, they just want to hear what the witness, what she probably want to. I'm sorry, I got tongue twist. They probably just want to hear what she just got to say. You know what I'm saying? Just listen. You know, see what she got to say. See if they could put some things together. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of shit she said, it ain't got shit to do with Meg getting shot. You know, so I don't know, man. Like, and she sound like, bro, the way she talking, bro, it sound like she just a jealous ass. She's always probably been jealous of Megan. I'm getting this vibe. Because let me tell you something, bro. I don't give a fuck if say if I had a homeboy, right? Say, you know, JBJ getting some shit, right? Me and him getting some shit, right? And motherfuckers question us and shit. I don't give a fuck we did fell out. I am not putting his shit out there like that. I'm not fucking telling y'all too much or nothing, bro. Cause at the end of the day, even though we might fell off, bro, I still had a history with this man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but it's like, I don't know. She gave me snake vibes.
Man, look, she been getting snaked for I don't know how long. Cause like even I was saying, look, she just glossed over what they were arguing about. She just don't know. She was sitting in the car with these motherfuckers. Y'all done stopped the car twice now, and somehow you still don't know what the argument's about.
And then they say they got really drunk. But, you know, even she said, like, when the prosecutor asked her, like, what y'all was arguing about, her and Tory, and she was like, yeah, I'm going to get to the point. I was going to tell you the point what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this shit.
Like, come on, girl.
Come on,
what
man.
is it really, man? Tell me what it really is.
Yeah, well, stop the shit. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to be a witness, goddammit. You know,
she covering for herself, like, and that's the whole point. That I remember I can't remember which attorney dude, that LA attorney guy, Cali guy, I don't know what the fuck he's from, to be honest. He was talking about how she went in there and everybody heard about it, by her pleading the fifth. Like, you don't really plead the fifth unless you did something criminal and you don't want to get prosecuted for it.
Exactly.
So what was the whole point of you pleading the fifth up in there like that? But you can tell that she's clearly leaving out stuff. But that's, man, look, anybody that's ever heard women tell stories, women tell amazing stories.
They do.
They can tell you an amazing story like you write in a book. But you know, when it pertains to them personally, they're leaving a lot out. They're omitting a lot of information. And you can tell she already, from just us already hearing the trial and what came out during the trial, we already know that she omitted a lot of stuff right there.
Yeah.
They just getting out of the car now, right?
Yep. Oh fuck.
What?
That good.
Megan.
Or behind Megan, and Tory's behind Juan.
Correct. So we're leaving. we're driving, going down the road. Megan is laughing still. It's like an uncontrollable laugh. And just out of curiosity, I want to know what's funny. So I'm like, what is funny? Like, what is going on? And that's when Tory butts in, and he's like, yeah, Megan, why don't you tell your best friend what's so funny? Why don't you tell her how fake you are?
Ooh.
And so I'm confused because this was random. And so I said, what? Like, what are you talking about? And Megan's like, Kelsey, don't listen to him. He's just trying to make you mad. And so I'm like, what are you talking about? And
she's fucking your nigga.
Next thing you know, the arguing, began with Tory and Megan. They're arguing, they're taking jabs at each other. He's calling her out her name. He's calling her, like, I've never heard him speak like this, so.
Stuff he was saying?
I can't honestly recall, like, verbatim. He was definitely calling her, like, bitches and hoes. And so, I stepped in and I said, you're not going to talk to my friend like that. Like, I don't care what y'all got going on, but you're not going to talk to her like that in front of me. So he got offended, and now me and him are arguing. And we're taking, honestly, when I argue, I can say things that are hurtful too. So he was saying mean things, so I was saying mean things back to him. And
do you remember any of the exchange?
I'm about to get to what I do remember. He began to say, I'm from, like, he just.
Okay, I've backed up too fucking far. We already heard this shit.
And behind Quan, so behind the driver's seat. So it was calm. Everybody was over, like, the door window.
Which door? Is it the rear
right,
door?
the front right. So where Megan was sitting.
Okay, so his door's open.
My door's open in the back, and the front door is open to where Megan got out. The front right passenger.
Both doors on the passenger side
are open, correct. So.
And is he shooting through the window or over the top of the door?
No, he's shooting over the top of the door. So
over the top of the door would be the rear passenger door?
The right front passenger. So again, as I said, he must have jumped, or I don't know how he did it because it was very very smooth. And he was leaning over the front passenger door, and
Hey, let me ask y'all. Oh my God, why I keep doing this shit? Let me ask y'all this, bro. When Megan did an interview with Gail, did Meg said that he was like over the roof or some shit?
Over the window.
She said over the window?
Yeah, Meg said over the window.
Over the window, okay. I just want to make sure, because. All right, hold on, y'all. And I'm not editing this shit. I don't give a fuck.
I didn't hear it. And he's leaning over. The door's open, and he's leaning over, like, the door window.
Which door? Is it the rear
right,
door?
the front right. So where Megan was sitting.
Okay, so his door's open.
My door's open in the back, and the front door is open to where Megan got out. The front right passenger.
Both doors on the passenger side
are open, correct. So.
And is he shooting through the window or over the top of the door?
No, he's shooting over the top of the door. So
over the top of the door would be the rear passenger door?
The right front passenger. So again, as I said, he must have jumped, or I don't know how he did it because it was very very smooth.
Any bitch with that many tattoos on the chest, you can't trust.
The front.
Hold on, bro. I got
passenger door.
What you say?
So any bitch with that many tattoos on the chest, you can't trust them.
Oh, hell no. That bitch will set you up. Oh. Hey, that's a fact, though. Them bitch will set you up
real quick.
And that's what it's kind of sounding like right now. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This girl is not cute.
Yeah, she remind me of some lady off a thin line between love and hate.
Yeah, she look like an avatar. I just been holding this in for the longest. Like, dog, she is not cute. I know for sure.
No, see, I'll say her and Megan for a smash
here
material.
Here come out.
Megan the horse look better. I ain't gonna lie.
No, yeah, but until they take their makeup off. But for it's like hoes that you can just smash, they look good for that. Like stripper
Oh
hoes
yeah.
with the makeup, they look good
Oh
for
yeah.
smashing, not wifing.
Oh yeah. But that don't mean anything. Niggas will smash anything. Nigga, shit. Niggas will fuck ugly bitches. I know I have. Hey, shit. But yeah, she's definitely good enough to smash. You know, she got a nice body too. But yeah, man.
And you know, she was shooting the gun.
Where were you standing at this point?
At this point, I'm standing kind of like my body's still like to the side behind the door.
Hold on, rewind that back real quick.
So
just that last second.
Like my left side was the rear passenger, the right front passenger. So again, as I said, he must have jumped, or I don't know how.
That was good.
Yeah, that's good.
How he did it, because it was very very smooth. And he was leaning over the front passenger door, and you know she was shooting the gun.
She was shooting.
Where were you standing at this point?
At this point, I'm standing kind of like my body's still like to the side behind the door, the rear passenger door. So I would say like my left side was the rear passenger, and my right side was kind of like this. Like this is the door, and I'm.
Are you still partially in the car at this point?
No, I'm out of the vehicle. Okay. I'm out of the vehicle. I'm just not around my door yet.
Yeah.
So you know where's Megan?
So I was about to speak on Megan. So she was walking away when this happened, but by the third, fourth shot, and by the time I look up, she's facing towards us, and I've described it like a deer in headlights. Mm-hmm. I'm short. I'm 4'11". The vehicle is kind of a little raised up, higher than me, so I can't really see. I can only see from her chest up. That's all I can see. But the way Tory was angling the gun is kind of like, it wasn't like straight. It was like, down.
Mm-hmm. It was down in her direction?
Definitely in her direction. In the air, definitely in her direction. So at that point, we kind of were in shock,
Did you hear him say anything as he was shooting?
He did not say anything.
Okay.
There was no words at that point,
What was Quan doing? Did he tell?
I think everybody was in shock.
Okay, so he wasn't.
He wasn't
part
even
of it.
at this point right here. He wasn't part of this. What I'm about to get into next, I can't tell you guys where Tory pulled the gun from. Like I said, the motion when he first threatened me was middle console, but I don't know if that's where the gun was.
But you had said he referenced like shooting y'all earlier while you're in the car, right?
He threatened to shoot me.
As if you had a gun
Correct.
in his control somewhere.
Correct.
Okay.
And so after the shots rang, it was like I said, 5 shots. We kind of froze, and by the time I get back into I snapped. Megan had either crawled or walked or limped over to. She's in a driveway. She's in a driveway on the side of the driver's side. She's in a driveway. Tory sits down.
In the front passenger seat?
In the front passenger seat.
Okay.
He's sitting. I guess just kind of shocked also. So I run over to her. I immediately ran to her. She's the forefront of my thoughts. My job as a friend in general is just like naturally to protect my friend, protect. So now I'm in defense mode on the behalf of Megan. I ran to her. She's on the floor. I never looked at her feet. I never really just got to look at her. I just I ran to her and she grabbed me. She had blood. So in my head, she had got shot.
What's up?
So check it. Y'all notice when she said, because Jay had you back it up a little bit. When she said they got out the car, and Meg was walking away. She was getting out the rear passenger seat, but Tory so smoothly, because the space was so small, jumped through the middle where the council was, got to the front, and was over the door. She still was behind the rear passenger door. She was out the truck, but she was standing behind the rear passenger door. Meg was already to the front of the car. Then he started shooting or whatever. Explain to me why, because right before that, I'm throwing this part back in. she said Meg was turned towards them. When you look at where her feet was injured, the trajectory points that it was from behind her, and she was facing the other opposite way. So now she's saying that she was facing them when he did it.
Yeah, and Meg said that she was walking, and he started shooting too.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense what she said right there. I just had to point that out real quick.
Man, they both lying, bro. They not man. Something fishy going on, bro. There's something fishy going on. Both of these motherfuckers lying. And it's just real funny that this nigga Tory, I don't understand. And then, you know what? Even though I've been backing Tory, like, nigga, come on, bro. Speak the fuck up, bro. Something, nigga. Like, shit.
But see, that's not a simple thing to do though, Rob. You gotta remember it's a high profile case, you got all this money on the line, your reputation and all that. You can't jump out the window because if you think about it, Meg and Kelsey keep running their mouth and keep coming to find out these bitches lying. What can we say Tory lied about? Nothing.
Also, you got to remember that they put a gag order on Tory so he couldn't speak.
Which was actually a good thing for him, really. But you can't jump out the window like that because it hurts your case. Just in case if you misspoke, like let's say either one of them misspoke at one point besides just lying, they just misspoke. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. So if you misspoke and Tory jumps out the window and does that, it hurts his case. So that's why you can't jump out and just say I'm innocent, because they'll find your ass guilty, just like they did him.
So shit, he was trying to tell him he was innocent. He was like, man, I ain't do that shit. They ain't want to hear that. They ain't want to hear none of that.
We might have to do a reaction one day to what he did get to say before they put a gag on him.
Yeah, because he did get a few words off on what was it, Instagram?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and then shout out to Street TV, man. They got all the fucking tea on this shit, bro.
That's what when I looked at the channel, I was like, man, yeah, they should be making enough money to go do them freedom of information requests, man. They probably spent like for all this stuff, they probably spent a good couple $5,000-$6,000 just to get it.
Hell yeah, bro.
Hey, Rob, you got the gunshot audio?
Yep, I got all that shit.
All right, cool. That's
got
all right,
that
my
shit.
bad.
I got what Meg was in the fucking ambulance crying, her foot, showing her foot, phone calls from I guess people that heard gunshots. Man, that shit wild, bro.
Because shots just went off and she's bleeding. That's what I think. So I see Tory coming around the vehicle. It's dark, lights are flat, hitting him. It's almost like a scary scene. So again, I'm in defense mode. I see him coming around the vehicle, and in my head, I'm thinking he's about to come over here and attack us.
Do you see whether or not when he's coming around the vehicle, he still has the gun?
I don't believe he had the gun. So like I said, I just thought he was coming over to attack us. So I stepped in between where he was coming to where Megan was. And at that point, that's when the assault between me and him happened. He assaulted me. And Quan then he just comes and he picks me up like a little doll. And he's like, Kelsey, they do this all the time. And I said, huh? She's bleeding. She's been shot. I don't know if y'all know she's shot. By that time, he's already to where Megan's at. So, I don't know what goes on in that driveway.
Who comes towards Megan? Is that Quan or Tory?
So initially, Tory comes, and that's where I stepped in, and we had an altercation. He physically assaulted me, and then Quan came and separated him from me.
What exactly did he do when he was assaulting you?
I mean, everything. My adrenaline was so high. I don't know if he was hitting me with a closed fist or slapping me. It was a physical altercation.
Were you wearing a necklace that day?
I was, and I'm gonna go to that part too. Now Tory's in the driveway with Megan. Quan is holding me. Like I said, he's big. He just picked me up and said, "They do this all the time, Kelsey." And I said, "Huh? No, like she's bleeding. She's been shot, to my knowledge." And so I'm still in defense mode. I'm still in, like, I gotta
You're
protect her.
listening to Street TV.
So I look up and I see the vehicle is in the middle of the road and it's on. The door is open. So my initial reaction is to cause a distraction, and I jumped into the vehicle and I threw it in jerk, and it worked.
What does that mean?
I just like jerked it, made it move, made it like move just to get him away from Megan. Because in my head I'm thinking he's over here gonna just attack.
So you got in the driver's seat of the car and moved it.
And I jerked. I made it jerk.
Okay.
I didn't even move it. I didn't even drive or anything. I just made it jerk.
Okay.
And so when I did that, it did exactly what I needed it to do, get Tory away from Megan. And so he I don't know how he got to the vehicle. I don't know if he ran or walked, but he got to me really quick. And that's when he started pulling me by my hair. He was pulling me by my hair really hard. And again, I wasn't afraid for my life when the incident was going on with Megan. I was in defense mode. But then I became afraid for my life when he started like pulling my hair and my neck because it was really, really hard. That's when the necklace.
When you said he pulled on your neck, what do you mean?
Like he was like almost like, I didn't lose my breath, so I wouldn't say choking, but he was pulling my neck and my hair. And then so here comes Quan again. Quan he's in between us, but Tory has a good grip. He's not letting go. So it's kind of like tug of war at this point with my head and body, and I'm scared. And I kind of dumb myself down just to get him to let me go.
Hold on.
And I said, Tory, what are we doing?
What's up, bro?
Rob, I see why you be making a mistake and hit the wrong thing. You know you can just hit your space button, it'll hit play, right? And pause.
Oh, for real?
I see that cursor moving.
All right, man.
I see that cursor moving close to that red line. But anyway, this line is so you were trying to protect her. He started beating you up, and then Quan pulls him away and then says, pulls her away and says, chill, they do this all the time. Prosecutor didn't ask no question. When she said he assaulted her, then she asked the question. Something ain't right with this bullshit. And then you jumped in the truck trying to make it jerk to like get him away from her. What?
Yeah, bro.
Huh?
And that's why, Tory Lanez's lawyer is trying to get the appeals and maybe try to get a new judge, and all that shit. Because bro, they skipping over a lot of shit, bro. I think they trying to just get to the nitty-gritty, like, did he shoot her or not? And I don't know, bro. That's crazy. Like, I'm not even
that's it.
What you say?
I think they just trying to find things that just help what Megan said. That's why they bypass anything about the relationship, them actually getting into a fight, all of that stuff.
Yeah. You know what? And it's crazy, bro. It's like I ain't trying to blame Jay-Z, because people gotta understand Jay-Z ain't all the Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying? But man, Meg got a big machine behind her, bro. So we don't know. You're right. Maybe these people are just looking out for Meg. I don't know. But oh man.
Yeah, because I don't know if a lot of people notice or not. It's not just Rock Nation, but do y'all know who Live Nation is?
Yeah, we know who Live Nation is, man.
Tell me. I don't know.
Rob, you know who Live Nation is?
No.
Live Nation is the big conglomerate that be doing all the shows, and like when you buy your tickets for concerts, music, comedy, like the big arenas and stuff.
Yeah, Live Nation.
That's who Rock Nation has their label. Yeah, that's who Rock Nation have their label imprint under is them. So they got a big machine behind them.
Yeah. And then I heard, and Tory dad said this, that, they wanted to sign Tory and he denied it. And it's crazy, like, soon he went independent. Like, when he decided to go independent, And he said in his album, I think Pray to the Most High song, he said, hey, soon I get go independent, that's when all this shit happened. Like some shit like that. Soon he became independent, that's when the bullshit happened. So I don't know, man. Like, that's Hollywood for your ass.
What are we doing? And when I said that, he released. He let go. And so now Megan is standing. We're all standing at the front driver door.
Did you see how Megan got to the front driver door?
I can't tell. No, she just like hopped, walk. I can't tell you, but she was there. She was standing at the front driver door, and Quan, they're just like get in the car. We didn't like have a pushback about getting in the car because we're in the middle of nowhere. At this point, we don't know what to do. We honestly didn't even think about calling 911 at this moment or anything. It was all a blur.
Now, did you have on long nails that night?
I did. My nails were broken off.
That was during your
with
fight
the
with Tory?
altercation with Tory,
Okay.
correct. So now we get in the vehicle. Quan gets back in the driver's side. Tory gets in the, now replaces Megan's seat. So he's in the front passenger. Megan gets in where I was sitting, which is now behind Tory. And now I'm behind Quan.
How is Megan looking at this point? Is she crying? Is she upset? Is she scared? Anything? Can you tell?
Megan I was screaming. I was tripping. I was having panic attacks. Megan honestly was very calm. And that's what made me think that they had a conversation in the driveway where I don't know. That's my assumption, but she wasn't in distraught. I was in distraught more than her, sorry, that just upsets me.
It's okay.
That's okay.
I can get tissue, or if you need a break, just let me know, okay? Let's see if I can get some.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, so she got emotional.
Where that come from?
Right. She learned from the best.
Hey, the best of the best of the best of the best.
All right, man. Fuck all this shit.
Yeah, I was about to say they going through cool and stuff or something.
And I don't know where we're going. Just driving. We didn't really have a destination, but I believe I did like to say we need to take her to the hospital. So Megan, she says Kelsey called Ferris. I had already tried calling Ferris. We had bad signal, so it didn't go through. I had sent a text to her security. I sent a text to her security at the time.
Is that Justin?
That's Justin. And because they weren't answering the calls, so I think I said like help 911, Tory shot Meg, or.
Do you still have that text?
I'll have to go through my old phone and.
I'm going to show you a photograph here. This is a document titled Text Message Justin Edison.
Mhm.
Just take a look at that.
I believe that's it. I'll have to look at my.
Okay, but that looks like the message that you sent.
Yeah, I don't think it's edited or anything.
Okay, so you said help Tory shot Meg 911.
Right.
Okay.
Mind you, I didn't even know that there was already a call that had been made. So I sent him a text. I think I texted Travis Ferris. I think I texted him. I know I dropped him our location. And I also sent a message to my mom, and I was like, help. Just frustrates me because, like, I was really hurt. And they just make it seem like it's mentally, like, nothing. I sent the help message to my mom.
And when you say you were hurt, you were physically hurt, mentally hurt?
I didn't even realize I had bruises, but my adrenaline was so high. When I say hurt, I mean emotionally.
Yeah.
Like,
Were you scared
I
too?
was scared, like.
What were you scared about when you're in that?
I don't know. I just was scared, like everything that had just happened,
Do you remember
So
what you texted your mom?
I think I still have the messages. It was on Facebook Messenger. because my mom, she has an Android, so like she's always on Facebook, so I knew she could see it. I think I also sent her a help message.
Yeah.
And so we're driving, and I also had made a phone call. Nobody was answering, and it was the person at the time that I was talking to. I made a phone call to him because I knew he would pick up, and he picked up, and I let him listen to everything that was going on. I just had the phone. I had it. I told him, hey, like, this just happened. I need to stay on the phone, you know.
So you had your phone on an open line where
it was an open line.
Basically he could hear what was happening inside the car.
Correct.
Why did she do that at that point?
Because, again, I was scared, and nobody had answered our calls. This is the only person I knew, just in case.
Yeah.
I don't know what's next. So, anyways, Megan had her leg on me. I still never had looked down at her foot, or if I did, I don't recall seeing her injuries or how damaged or whatever she was. I'm in distraught. So Tory is like demanding, like, shut up, like Kelsey, shut up, you know. And the police, we're driving down the street, and the police, you know, they're coming. The policeman was behind us, but at that point, I don't think they knew this was the vehicle they were looking for. So Quan pulled over, or let them go by, and they went by. And now we're getting to our last, you know, the final moment. Now the helicopter is over the vehicle, and all the cops are behind us. And that's when, you know.
You can hear the sirens are going.
Sirens are going.
Is Tory singing?
Pull over. He is. He was saying,
hey, hold on real quick,
like,
Rob.
please, y'all don't say anything, please.
What's up?
All right, so you hit that pause button, that play button, the space button. You hit the space button so you can pause it. That's how you did that, or you used the cursor?
No, I ain't do that shit, bro.
Like, he can't talk because
anyway,
he didn't know he could use that shit.
But check this out, AOL user. The crazy thing is, did y'all peep that part where she said the guy she had been talking to, she let him listen in on everything that was going on?
So hold on. So say that again.
She said that when everything was going on, she let the guy listen in. She called some guy that she was talking to.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that who her baby daddy is, because she had a baby since then. So I'm like, all right, well, damn.
She had a baby like last year, did she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, damn. So when you went back, you was fucking another nigga. So they never talk about what their communications was back and forth with her and Tory. Like, when she went back, did she stop talking to him?
Yeah.
Like, she never makes mention of that. But then I just found it funny that she had a nigga she was fucking with. So it's like, damn. So y'all just on some whole shit. You messing with this dude, messing with that dude. Both of y'all doing the same thing. Y'all throwing your thought pocket around the whole industry and all of that. Outside the industry.
Well,
you doing all of this shit.
It's in the music. It's basically say they hoes.
Yeah, so it's like you expect us to believe all this shit, then it's fake crying that she doing, then she go right back to talking regular. Like, for females that be sitting there, no, she was crying, or Meg was crying. I'm like, Meg, that bitch ain't, like Pac said, that scandalous bitch and shed a tear through them fucking eyes. No, man, what he said, that bitch and shed a tear through them scandalous eyes.
Yeah, bro. And been reports saying, like, man, her and Meg share niggas a lot. So ain't no telling they probably threw Tory a couple threesome here and there, you know.
I know, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is some shit that has to be, like, they keep talking about, oh, you don't have to worry about her sexual history, but it's like, yeah, you do, to see what's going on. Like, what was the biggest issue? Was it really that you found out that she backdoored you, or Kelsey? Because I was wondering how Kelsey was in this video, because I never remember hearing a report about it. So she said the video was already shot. So I thought they did that. This situation happened. She put Kelsey in the video. I mean, not Kelsey, but Kylie in the video. This make it seem like they still was cool or whatever. So kind of find out that video was already done before the incident happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Like
real.
there's a lot of greasy, grimy shit going on, boy. These some scandalous ass Jezebels.
Yeah,
Hey,
man. That's why you gotta leave these quote unquote bad bitches alone, man.
hey, man, y'all remember back in the day, Mike Jones? Everybody remember Mike Jones?
Oh yeah.
And he had a song on his first album.
I used to call that
I
number.
can't stand these scandalous hoes. These scandalous hoes, man. Look, he was speaking about it ahead of time. Look, y'all, I gotta step out because I had something I had to do tonight. I appreciate everybody that was coming in here tonight. Oh, the show's not ending, so don't believe just because I'm leaving the show ending. They gonna keep grinding. But look, y'all, I like what you said. We gotta find the motive, because I don't think they really dug into what the motive would have been for this altercation to happen. Like, because you got the driver, who I'm pretty sure y'all X'd out first. I would hope that's how the cops X'd them out first, because it's the driver. Maybe the driver didn't do it, but the way you walk into that situation, everybody's a suspect, especially once we see that we got somebody injured, gunshot residues in the car and shit on hands. Somebody shot, whatever.
Hold on, good point. Good point. Because we've never seen a statement from the driver. You notice that?
Hey, look, you already know how I feel about it. Y'all go in depth on that, because honestly, y'all, I think they just wanted to lock up a black dude. Me personally, I don't believe there was enough evidence beyond a reasonable doubt to lock him up. This is a bunch of what's the word you used earlier? Conjecture.
No, I ain't used that earlier.
When we was talking on the phone, man. Shut up.
No, I ain't
Either
say
way,
that.
though. Okay, speculation. Either way, one of the words.
There you go. That's a word.
It's too much in between in the weeds, and we're hearing the actual interview, because when Kelsey got on stand in trial, she didn't give the prosecutors what they wanted. So they referred back to this call, right? This tape right here.
Uh-huh.
And even in this tape, how many holes have we poked and we ain't even made it halfway through it? So you telling me beyond a reasonable doubt that jury said he did it?
Yeah.
And his DNA still wasn't even on the gun? I'm just gonna be like, look, man, I think they just wanted to lock a nigga up. I'm just saying, even though he Canadian, they still gonna lock his ass up. But look, y'all keep doing y'all thing, and I'm gonna step the hell up out of here, because I gotta run these streets.
You just gonna go get some more Kool-Aid.
Nah, you the Kool-Aid man. I'm out, nigga. I'm out.
All right, bro. Really. Hey, Ab, you riding with me?
Yeah, for sure. I'm here for it.
All right, for sure.
I'm about to sign a big deal or something, and like I could book you guys $1 million each. And I believe Megan's like, huh? We're like, what? But that was the end of that. I will be very honest. Megan's, I don't know. I feel like they had a conversation either at the driveway or at the bus stop. I don't know where it happened, but she was very calm. Mm-hmm. She wasn't upset. She didn't seem upset with him. I was confused because I'm like I'm distraught, Her demeanor was very like she was okay. Like I really shocked. Maybe she was in shock. I don't know. I can't really. Yeah. I don't know. So now the vehicle's pulled over. The cops are demanding us to get out. I believe they asked Quan to get out first, then Tory, Megan, and then me, if I'm not mistaken.
Was that scary?
It was very scary, and it's humiliating and embarrassing. I've never have been to jail, never have been to cuffs, never have been in anything like that. They actually, you can see the TMZ clip, they actually have me spread my legs super wide. Mm-hmm. You can look at the clip. You can, it's the clip is there. You can hear me like, okay, I'm saying okay. Once they come, I think it was a female officer that put me in cuffs, and I told her, I verbatim, I said, please don't put your knee in my back. This is when George Floyd, that whole situation happened.
This is right after that, or close in time to that?
This is very recent.
Okay.
And she's like, she assured me that it's okay, you know.
I don't know about you out, bro, but even when Meg said that shit, I hate when people just keep bringing George Floyd. Well, the George Floyd situation was going on, and you don't know what these cops was on, you know. So we were just so scared. Like, bro, stop that shit, bro.
Stop it,
bro. Like, because the police is the police. Like, I don't know, man. I really think that was when I heard Meg say that, and now she's saying it. Whenever I hear people in general say it's a reach, bro. It's a reach. Like,
yeah, for real.
So from there, I guess
You're listening to Street TV.
Handcuffed us. We didn't say, you know, I honestly, like I said, my adrenaline was high. If they asked me about injuries, I wasn't really worried about myself at that point. I was worried about Megan, so I didn't even care to speak on myself, which I almost regret. And they take Megan. She's sitting on the curb. They have me here on the opposite side, Tory and Quan. And I'm not sure what she did. Well, I now know what was disclosed, but at that point I didn't know. Ferris arrived. By the time he arrived, they were wheeling Megan off, I believe in like a wheelchair or a bed. I can't recall. They put her in the ambulance, and they took us, you know, to.
Did you ride an ambulance with her?
No,
separate car.
It was. I was in a cop car.
Okay.
I actually went to the jailhouse, and again, I thought that was a normal thing to do. Well, with this situation, I didn't know if I was supposed to be in an ambulance or anything. I don't know the rules. So they took us. They put me in a room. They came in, took pictures, if I'm not mistaken. I honestly don't recall them swabbing my hand for any residue or anything. And
you don't recall it happening, but it could have happened. You just don't remember.
No, I really don't, like, unless, because I don't know how that works. What the swab part is. I don't even remember them disclosing that they were about to swab me, and I know that I would remember that unless, again, I had very high adrenaline. Maybe that part. I don't believe they swabbed me. Just that's my knowledge. I know they came in and took pictures. So stayed over. They took us, I guess, to a room. Asked if I wanted to say what happened, and I just did what I know in situations like this for movies and stuff. I just asked for, you know, I was gonna get a lawyer. So the next morning, 8, they released me, and
So it was like 4 hours later about, or that you didn't spend the night at the jail, right?
Definitely spent the night. Well, I mean, I was there all night.
It was that same night though.
Oh yes, same.
So then you got released like
that
after
morning.
several hours that morning. Okay.
So when you get released, at some point you make a trip over to the hospital, correct?
So when I get released, they released me and Quan together, and outside of the jail, Quan said he made a comment and was like, "Money talks" or something similar to those words. I don't know.
Did you have him elaborate on that, or did you ask?
No, I didn't ask. I was confused. He also said that Tory was trying to protect me, and I said, "Protect me from what?" He's like, "You'll find out later." Like, everybody was playing mind games with me. I don't know what's going on. His friend, Quan's driver arrived. Her friend arrived, and he was like, "Man, what? Why? You know?" He was like, "Why?" He like, he was like, I can't believe he did that. He asked if I was okay. This is Tory's, I think, best friend. I don't know his name, or a friend. They were just all associated. Yeah. And he asked if I was okay.
To Street TV.
And I'm just like,
I got a question real quick.
Disbelief and shock.
I got you, bro. And I did the space this time.
There you go. So what I'm tripping off is, like, actually, I'm gonna ask you this question. Why do you think Kelsey Even though it seemed like she's just shading the shit out of Meg, she really don't start pretending crying like Meg did her wrong. But why do you think they kind of were still trying to protect each other after what happened? Because I'm thinking it's. I'm sorry, but the only thing I can see the facts look more like Kelsey is guilty than Tory. So why do you think they would still protect each other after knowing that it came out in court that they was actually fighting?
Well, number one, maybe because they wasn't really trying to protect each other. Maybe they just both lying, and them saying they protecting each other was an excuse. Or hey, at the end of the day, they still had a history together. Like I made an example. Like say, all right, let me just say me and you now. You say we was close friends and we got some bullshit where we fell off at, and where and I'm in a situation where, where police coming at me asking me questions, even though we fell off, bro. It's a part of me where I'm gonna still try to, like, you know what? Regardless what me and him going on right now, I still have a history with this dude. So I don't want to see this dude in harm's way, or where he's gonna take his freedom away. So it could be either one or two, bro. Either they just both lying, they can't get their shit together, they can't get their story together, or hey man, their friendship was probably real once upon a time.
I don't
That's
know,
what.
because I'm thinking that if anything that would somewhat make sense, it's still crazy. But since Meg backdoored her so many times and they got into a fight, she didn't really, and Kelsey want to grab the pistol because Kelsey ain't number 4'11", Meg like 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah.
She got a whole foot on him. So I'm thinking, okay, you know what you did was wrong. That's why y'all got into a fight. Your girl shot. She didn't mean to shoot you, but she still should have never had the scrap. So to me, part of it is like, okay, Meg don't want to ruin her whole reputation. One, for not only being a hoe, but backdooring her best friend. And then Kelsey is still kind of taking her side, so she'll still take her side so she don't go to jail. That's the only thing I can think of that makes sense. Meg
Yeah.
don't want to mess up her image, and Kelsey just trying to stay out of jail.
Yeah, they probably like, hey, fuck this nigga. Hey, I
For
rather
real.
see this. I rather see that nigga go to jail than her, regardless of what me and her going through.
Yeah, girl, if it wasn't for this nigga, this shit would have never happened, even though you kept trying to pull her away from dealing with him. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
and they went to college together, bros. They what she's saying, what Kelsey's saying, they damn near came up together. They both got out the mud. They was probably struggling students like every other college student. And hey, Kelsey was making ride or die. So
Yep.
I don't know, man. Tory, man, he should have been a lot smarter when fucking with these hoes, man.
Now, I ain't gonna sit there and act like Tory ain't still a Pookie. That nigga a Pookie too.
Yeah, man. Because honestly, I would have been like, look, man. If I'm talking to, if my homegirl, whatever the fuck, introduced me to a girl, one of her homegirls, and you still trying to fuck, I'm like, all right, man. Look. I don't want no drama. I ain't trying to have nobody. I don't want y'all going against each other. Y'all friends. Look, what can we do to benefit each other? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't mind fucking both of y'all, but it's like, damn, I don't want no drama to come with this shit.
But they've been trying to push this whole mindset lately. I've been saying for like last 5 years or so is, well, what does it matter if the other people not messing with each other no more, and then somebody else start messing with them that's a friend? It's like, this is why it matters. You can't just do whatever the hell you want and not consider how somebody else might react to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not big on saying feelings like that, but and it's especially when it comes to females and two thought ass bitches like these two Jezebels, you never know how somebody's gonna react. But part of me is thinking like Meg think, well, I'm the star bitch. If she was disrespecting Tory, talking about I'm a bigger star than you, it's like Tory Lanez music, and I ain't even no big fan of his, but his music is better than hers. All she talk about is shaking ass and that's it, body yaddy and all that
Yeah,
bullshit.
he's
That's
very
all you can make
talented.
it. And rap better than you. And then plus he made basically shit. He able to make fucking R&B. He able to make pop music. He able to make street music. Like, you not messing with him. Like, what are we talking about? You think you the shit because you got pussy ass camo face backing you? Fuck out of here.
He don't need a feature to get a hit.
Exactly. She didn't until Beyonce jumped on that Savage.
Yep.
He didn't have a few hits since 2015.
Facts. Yeah, man, this shit wild, bro. Honestly, this whole shit is goofy as fuck. You know, I ain't gonna lie, man. The more I hear about this shit, I'm mad this shit is really news. Like, I wish this shit never happened, just the fact because this shit is goofy as hell.
Shit crazy, man. Roll the tape.
Hey, I asked JVJ this earlier. Let me ask you this. Where you rank this, like, is this almost, I ain't gonna say, because I wasn't born. I don't remember. I had never witnessed this case. But is this like you think this kind of like, you put it in the same talk when it comes to like OJ situation, and in this situation, like, if you would have guessed which court case was bigger?
Oh,
OJ for sure. Yeah.
Because it also took longer for them to deliberate, and then not only that, you gotta remember it was a high speed chase on the highway and all of that shit. Like, then police got found to be lying and crazy, and then I mean two people got killed. So yeah. OJ, and they still talking about OJ.
Okay, yep. OJ, you still got the crown, brother.
Killer.
I called Megan's manager, and I was like, "Hey, can somebody come pick me up?" Actually, I texted her security, or I called him. One of the two, and he said, "Call Jilly." So I called her or texted. I have to go back and see, and she came immediately. I went to her house. She gave me a pair of changed clothes because my clothes were ripped from the altercation. Discarded them in her house. From there, I asked her, like, how is Megan? Can I see Megan? We went to the hospital. I sat outside the hospital. I was not outside the room or anything. I was actually outside, sitting in the car on the street. Okay. She said that Megan couldn't have guests. So I thought that was accurate. I thought that was true. And I'm still sitting in the car. I received a call from a jail. Didn't think that it was Tory because I actually knew somebody in jail, and he had called often, and I would answer his call. And so I just thought it was him because it was normal for him to call early or later. So when I answered it, it was Tory. Honestly, I know in that call he did ask where Megan was, and I believe I told him in the hospital. Believe he apologized.
And what do you think he was apologizing for?
I mean, everything that unfolded that night and the incident.
Okay.
That was that. And I mean, I never got to see Megan since then.
Yeah. You didn't see her at all since she went to the hospital?
No, it was.
Did you talk to Megan at least over the phone or by text at some point?
Later on in text messages, we did talk. She had finally texted me, but this is somebody that I was with for years, day to day, every day. I know her. Like, that was my best friend. I knew her like the back of my hand. I honestly still feel like I know her like the back of my hand. Nothing's really changed. I'm somebody that, I know everything. I'm the first person. Her team's going to make sure I'm right there. Kelsey doesn't leave Megan's side. That's how we operate.
Right.
So when I just, I kept asking, can I see Megan? I actually went back to the house. Can I see Megan? Can I see Megan? I'm still checking for her. Nobody's kind of giving me any information on it. So I kept blowing it off. I was like, okay, maybe I can't have guests.
You're listening to Street TV.
Desiree, Rock Nation. She told me that Megan was going to be down for a while, almost a year. and I believed it.
What do you mean choosing me down for a while? What does that mean?
Like injury,
out of commission? Okay.
I believed it. Mind you, I'm at this house. This house is big. I'm by myself. I'm still in shock. I had never even experienced PTSD, but I knew that day when I went back to the house, it was started to hit me.
Yeah.
So I had nobody with me. So I did ask, can I, hey, I might go back, if I'm considering going back to Houston while Megan is healing, because they had already told me that she would be down, and they wouldn't let me go see her. So, or they said she couldn't have guests. So I said, okay, well, I'm gonna consider going back to Houston until.
She definitely wasn't. Obviously, she wasn't injured for a year. I seemed like when I heard about the shit a month later, she was doing the damn crybaby dance. Knees and feet look strong as hell that day.
So she's healed, and then I also need to go seek, treatment, make sure I'm okay. I had bruises all over me. My body was in pain. My back was hurting, which I disclosed to them. I said, so I'll let you know a date and a time to book my flight. So I actually ended up booking my support to come out to LA to be with me at the house. So I didn't need my flight anymore. But no sooner can I send that text, they had a flight booked for me like 2 hours later. Mind you, Megan had just asked me to get rid of my apartment. So I had like all my stuff there at the house. So me and Desiree Pettis, she communicated with me. I said, hey, like I have a flight in 2 hours. No, nobody told me, like, and I don't have, like, what am I supposed to do right here? Like my stuff. And she tells me that it's best that I find a rental in Houston, or just find a rental. LA is dangerous right now. The house isn't safe to be at, so I was like, okay, so just to be clear, you're telling me I need to move. I need to move after I just made an immediate move down here. Like, mind you, this is all while I'm confused and hurt and like, so I'm having to deal with all this, and I can't even just kind of try to get my mind right. So, so she's like, yes. And I'm like, okay. So I said, well, can you at least rebook my flight for a different date? Like, just let me try to get help to help me move my boxes and stuff. I had heavy stuff. And they said, okay, just let us know what date you want to leave. And the driver that had arrived, we actually were supposed to have, we had other obligations. So a driver just appeared, thankfully. And he actually helped me get all my stuff out of that house. And I went and I booked a hotel. And yeah.
Did Tory try reaching you after the shooting?
He did.
I ain't gonna lie, yo. That's a terrible picture of Kelsey, bro. Look at them eyelashes. God damn. How the fuck you need them thick ass eyelashes when you got your own? Like, what's the fucking point? That shit is bothering me. I just had to say something. Like, god damn.
What happened?
So the first call came through Quan, if I'm not mistaken. And he was whispering, and I'm like, who is this? He's like, big head. Stop acting like you don't know who this is. So, I believe those are the words he said.
Big head? What's that?
Big head. I don't know. Like I said, we've never met, or like we've never had that. So I don't know.
But you think it was Tory whispering to you on?
No, it wasn't. It was definitely Quan.
Oh, it was Quan was talking. Okay.
Yeah. And basically, he was just like, he had our stuff. I guess our suitcases and things had been released to him. And he had our stuff. Let's make arrangements to pick it up. And so I was okay to meet with him to pick my stuff up because, like, I have to go back to Houston. Every piece of item that I had, I needed, And he was like, I'm trying to remember his full. I believe that was really it.
And this was the next day, or when was this?
Honestly, I would have to look back,
Okay.
and It wasn't far from that date.
Yeah.
I lose train of thought.
Okay. It's a long thing.
Yeah, I know.
So he asked you to go pick up if you wanted to meet,
The
pick up the
suitcases,
stuff.
the
Yep.
suitcases, yes. So, I dropped him, my pin to my hotel. I believe this is the communication with me and the security guard. And I want to make sure I'm being accurate with that.
When you say the security guard, are we talking
Or
about
the driver, Quan, sorry. I really don't know what the role was. He was
It's okay.
everything.
If it's easier, we can refer to Quan as Quan versus
Okay,
Justin
Quan.
as Megan.
All right, so I know earlier we was talking about me and you and JBJ. We was talking about they never mentioned a driver, so I guess Quan, the security guard, was the one driving as well. So
Yeah. Right. Okay. And so he came. He actually asked me to come to a studio location, and I said, no, I don't feel safe doing that. He's like, why? Like, you act like something's gonna happen, and I'm like, I just don't feel safe doing that. We're not friends,
You're listening to Street
So
TV.
when they came, it was Tory Quan, and it was another individual. I don't know who he was. I think he was Caucasian. I can't remember. Prior to me actually going out to meet with him, I did, I updated my sister and I said, hey, just letting you know this is my location. I was still taking safety precautions because I was scared still. And I got in the vehicle. Quan stepped out. Tory was driving. And, not driving. He was on the driver's side. It was parked.
And this is outside of the hotel?
This is outside my hotel. And in that car, he was like, Kelsey, he was very apologetic. Mind you, this is somebody, me, Megan, and him, we were all friends up until that night. Mm-hmm. So although I was scared and I still was like, let me hear him out. Mm-hmm. This night, it was a night gone bad. Mm-hmm. Alcohol was involved, and I know he regretted it. Mm-hmm. And so he was just apologetic. He said, Kelsey, she attacked me with my artistry. That's what really bothered him, and that's what he put emphasis on. And I said, Tory, but you're wrong. You're wrong. I made sure I made him aware that he was wrong.
That what he did was wrong.
What you did was wrong. Like, why would you pull out a gun? Like, none of this is okay, And I told him, I'm not okay right now. Like, my mental state is not okay. I have injuries. Like this is not right. I said, Megan is shot. She's, or injured, or she's in the hospital.
Did he ever apologize to you?
Tory? He did apologize to me also. And he's just like, he's being very apologetic just for the whole situation. And I'm just like, you need to apologize directly with her also. I didn't know he had, at that point, I didn't know he had sent her messages. Me and Megan hadn't spoken. I'm reaching out, this prior to, I want to rewind, prior to me even taking that meeting, it was like her team, they were treating me very weird, very strange, and I didn't understand why. I was reaching out to her team, I'm asking them, like, what am I supposed to do? I'm staying in the hotel. And finally, I think I sent like a long message, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, what am I, me and Megan should be moving as a unit. Like, why am I being kind of pushed out? Y'all told me to move. Where am I supposed to go home to? Megan had asked me to get rid of my apartment. And that's what I did. I've always had my own things, own stuff. I always pick, so she asked me to get rid of it, and I did. And so I finally sent like a text, and it was just like, this isn't right. And Megan finally had called. I think they kind of sensed like Kelsey, you know, and she's like, Kelsey, find a place to stay in Houston. I'm gonna pay it up for a year. And I said, I said, Megan, are you sure? And she's like, yeah. She said, I'm gonna be down for a year. Like, Kelsey, I'm like, I can't walk. And I'm like,
was the idea when she said she was going to pay for a place for a year, it was a place for also her to call home base in Houston?
no.
Okay. It was for you.
For me.
Just because she asked you to move, so she felt responsible that you didn't have a place and wanted to get you a place back in Houston.
Right.
Okay.
I never asked them to give me a spot. They did this voluntarily and for a year, which was not normal, you know, because we're supposed to move as a unit. Mind you, I had also found out that she had left to New York. I guess she caught a jet. So I was just confused. I was very confused. Like, I'm still here in LA and y'all are, what's going on?
You're just in the dark.
I was very much in the dark. The people that I talk to every day and I'm with every day, and I would get immediate updates on anything, had shut me out. I didn't understand why. So anyways, and
let's go back to Tory.
Yeah, I'm about to get right back into that. So anyways, he in to sum it up, he was very apologetic. I told him, you're wrong, like, for what you did, like, this is not okay. And he said, Kelsey, like, what can I do? And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What can you do? And I guess his lawyer, Holly, per him, has said that he goes, can I invest in or do you need a job? Do you want to work with me? And I'm like, huh? Why do I need to work with you? Tori, I'm sorry, but no, I don't want any correlation with you. And he said, do you need me to get you a lawyer? And I said, I don't need you to do anything for me, Tori. Like, why do I need you to get me a lawyer?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, can I, what's something that you want? What's something you want to do? Like, do you want to invest into a business? And I'm like, huh? He said, Kelsey, like, basically, you know what I'm saying. His, per him, Sean Holly advised him to word it that way. And I told him, no, like, no, I don't need anything from you. And he's like, okay, well, just think about it and just let me know. And so at the end of that, he asked for a hug. And I said, I didn't want to hug him.
What did you think he was trying to accomplish by making that offer to you?
I don't know if he was just trying to right his wrongs for what he did to all of us. And me, of course, I don't want to assume anything, but I mean, I don't know if that was his way of, he don't want to pay directly for injury.
When he offered you all these things, was it over the course of just one conversation, one meeting, or was it the course of like over several texts and phone calls or anything like that?
It was over a course, for sure.
Over texts, phone calls, do you remember?
I believe a phone call, yeah, and phone call and a text.
Do you remember if you still have that text?
When I tell you that phone, I have to go back and literally go through everything. It's like powered off.
Yeah. You still have that phone?
I do.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So don't delete anything just in case. Go over it.
Okay.
All the things we talked about. When they want to ask you additional questions about it. Now, over the course of like the phone calls or texts, when he's offering you these things, does it occur over several months, or what are we talking about here?
All the way up until I think you guys finally picked up charges on him.
Okay.
And then he stopped reaching out.
Then it stopped.
Okay.
And then you stopped having contact with Meg at some point, right?
So yeah, with Megan, with Megan, yes, she, and I have these text messages also. She asked me, she says, Kelsey, do you want me to include you in my statement? Prior to that, she had told me, she didn't want me in the media. And I said, Megan, like, I need you to protect me in this because they're saying that I probably shot you. They see a TMZ clip is circulating. People are threatening me. People are threatening my mom. People are threatening my family.
When was this, would you say?
This was once everything broke onto the internet.
Why was it saying that you shot her?
Because they seen that me and Tory had, I think the article came out that me and Tory were detained and Megan was in the hospital, so it just made it look like.
Oh, I see. The optics were
So
looked like
right. That. So then she had texted me, and she was like, "Hey, do you want me to include you in my statement?" And I said, "Please, I would be thankful for that." And I said, I can also get me a statement typed up by my lawyer. At that time, I had got Dawn for my physical injuries that Tory did. So no sooner could I say that she had already made the post on Instagram. And when she made that post, there was no protection. She just pretty much said that she said that I have the screenshot. She pretty much disclosed events without really disclosing everything. But just as my best friend, she could have said something in the words of like, that would have protected me. She left me in the hot seat with them. After you just texted me and asked if I wanted to be included in the statement, you still put out a statement without me, you know?
God damn it. I was muted. Sorry, y'all. But nah, bro, yeah, you make a good point, you know. Kelsey, Meg could have been hating on Kelsey. And Kelsey could have been hating on Meg, bro. Shit, they could have been jealous at each other. Shit, wow.
Yeah.
What the statement said? What was the gist of that statement?
Can I see my phone?
What she saying? Did she say she was shot?
What she said was, oh, that's the sequel to the video she did. I have it, but and I want to verbatim. I want the statement because then this is when everything, all the assumptions against me really begin. She basically had said, I want to find the actual statement. Sorry.
No, take your time.
You're listening to Street TV.
Yeah, I wouldn't have no Wi-Fi. Oh man,
I know that there was a long-winded, not long-winded, but a longer statement that was posted on Instagram.
There's a few.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me to learn how to protect my energy. Straight on Sunday morning, I suffered gun. I know I have it. Okay, right here.
Okay.
So,
we found the statement.
Okay.
Do you want me to read the full statement?
Sure. Well, if you want to talk about specifically what part of the statement.
So basically her statement, mind you, again, this was immediately after she asked if I wanted to be included in her statement. And I said yes, because that would protect me, at least put me in a position where people know I didn't do nothing to her. She said the narrative that's being reported about Sunday morning's events are inaccurate, and I'd like to set the record straight. On Sunday morning, I suffered gunshot wounds as a result of the crime that was committed against me and done with intention to physically harm me. I was never arrested. The police officers drove me to the hospital where I underwent surgery to remove the bullets. I'm incredibly grateful to be alive and that I'm expected to make a full recovery. But it was important for me to clarify the details about this traumatic night. I'm currently focused on my recovery so I could turn back to my life and back to making music. And her caption was, I was never arrested. This whole experience was an eye-opener and blessing in disguise. I hate that it took this experience for me to learn how to protect my energy. So when she did that, mind you, people had already knew me. We were together. People had seen us, celebrating I had just came back. And
Wait a minute, because she said that Megan said that the doctor removed the bullets, but I think reports after that say it was just like bullet fragments. Like, Megan was lying there.
To LA, so she had made a post celebrating me, and so the public automatically realized she didn't include me in that statement, and they began to tag me, and like you shot Megan, and people kept you're going to jail. I hope you rot in jail and die. They were saying all kinds of crazy things. So I made it, I'm not an experienced, she has a team. I didn't really, so I made a little post, and I said, I want to clear up the rumors that I shot Megan. I want to clear up the rumors that I shot Megan. I was not the one with the gun, and I would never do something like that. But I was present. I don't know if that was the best thing to say, but she was like, Kelsey, why would you say that? And I said, what do you mean? Like, you're not protecting me. Like, I have to say something. And she's like, that's not the way to say things. And I'm like, well, what's the way to say things? Because you tell me you don't want me to speak on it. And then
Tyrell, man, what up, though?
Yo, what's up, man? Fucking sleep meds ain't work. I'm up, and then I saw you was on. What's up, bro?
What up, though, bro? Shit, man. Yeah, man, I just going over this audio, man. I like, fuck, I'm gonna go live and shit.
How you doing, by the way, bro? Straight up.
Oh, I'm good, bro. I can't complain, man. Shit. Shit. Can't complain at all. How are you? Everything good?
Hell yeah, man. Just all these sleep meds, they work sometimes and they don't work other times, bro. It's just sucks. But like I've only read, how far have you gotten into this shit?
Shit, this shit about to. So here go the thing, right? We went over the phone call that Tory and Kelsey had when Tory was I think when they arrested him, right?
Yeah.
And he was apologizing and all that other shit. And now this is Kelsey interview. She's getting interviewed by the prosecutors. So this video here was like an hour and 26. We at 108 right now, so it's almost over with.
Hell yeah, let's go.
So so basically, man, look, I'm gonna tell you straight up, bro. They all goofy.
That's facts.
They all goofy.
That's facts.
Tory, he goofy. Just the fact that, hey, man, look, you gotta be smart fucking these hoes. You know what I'm saying? And then Meg and Kelsey goofy because they some terrible liars. They don't know how to tell the story. Like, it's just all over the place. It's just all over the fucking place. Like,
bro, every time they release, because I've heard some snippets on like the social media and then like the articles, and maybe you agree with me just because you've listened to more of the audio, but don't it always sound like they always saying this shit to protect, like they always not telling the whole story?
No,
like every
bro.
fucking interview, it's like, okay, we're missing a huge piece of this detail right now.
And then like the prosecutors, I don't know who these prosecutors are because they not really questioning Kelsey like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of shit is like either going over their head or they don't care like to even question her.
I do wonder how many times they question her though.
Not much, bro, because she's saying a bunch of shit, bro. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like, because remember she lied on the stand too, so they was probably like, man, we can't even trust this lady.
But you gotta understand though, this is this right here, this audio, this happened fresh after
Right.
the incident. So yeah, us listen to it now, I can see why she said, "Hey, she lied," because it sounds like some bullshit, and she's making her seem like she's just the victim, like she's not telling, like, okay, like it seemed like she's like, "Oh, I wasn't really involved, like I'm just stuck in the middle," type shit. Like, no, like.
Yeah, you could tell they didn't get their story. They haven't gotten to the part where they're gonna be like, "Oh, this was like some glass shit." They clearly haven't talked to each other about what the story is gonna be yet.
No, because they both mad at each other at this point.
Yep.
You gotta think they used to be best friends. They went to college together and shit. You know.
Right. They was tight, like tight. Yeah.
You know. Look, bro. Bottom line, Kelsey. This is what I said. I think Kelsey was mad that Tory really liked Meg more than her. You know what I'm saying? And she started getting jealous. And then I think Meg was fucking mad at Tory because he was probably fucking with Kylie at that party and shit. And then I think Kelsey, she is out here spilling the fucking beans about everything. Like,
Man,
so
Tory should have never gotten that limo, bro. Like you there's no way any dude didn't see this coming, bro. If you in this situation, like, hold up, I'm about to get in the car with who? Ugh.
But they all cool with each other though. So
yeah, until they found out they was smashing.
Bro, I want to be. Yeah, that could. I think
You know that
they
could go
probably call
just 0 to
feelings,
100
bro.
real quick, bro.
They probably call feelings, bro. But Kelsey and Meg, I heard they always share niggas. They share niggas a lot. So ain't no telling they threw some threesome
I
at this nigga.
agree, but you also got to remember they probably don't share all of them. And maybe
Right on.
Tory was the one they didn't know about. You know what I mean?
Probably, yeah. Hey, hold on. Op said, no, this testimony was done in. They happened this year, September. So what?
You see what I mean? Because this testimony would be, and this once again, like I agree, I believe that Tory's guilty, but this goes to what people are saying is like, okay, Op says this is the interview from 2022.
Wow.
So think about all the lies she was telling in the initial interview when this incident happened in 2020. So they
Yeah.
trying to fucking verify all this bullshit. And the reason, and I guarantee you, one of the reasons why Kelsey probably got the immunity deal is because they already caught her perjuring herself. You get what I mean? And it was like, look, we already got you fucking lying. We can get you can take this immunity deal and finally tell the fucking truth, or we gonna charge you with some shit with Tory.
But my thing, okay, if this happened, because I really thought this was like fresh when the incident happened. But
I thought the audio clips I heard too were the fresh ones.
the first clip we heard, I guess when Tory went to when he was making a call to Kelsey in jail the first time. But okay, but this is weird though. Okay, this is back in September. Why just last week when the case just last week she's fucking said she lied that she even witnessed like Tory having a gun at all. Like,
bro, so first off, as we've all agreed, they're all three of them are scumbags and they're all lying. So none of them could be trusted that they were. Now, to bring the human element into it, we have to remember the incident happened in the summer of 2020 with all the pandemic and George Floyd shit happening. So even with them already being certified liars, there's going to be details from almost 2 years ago that they're not going to get straight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man, this shit. Like I said, this whole situation is goofy. Like, at this point, I'm tired of this shit.
But it just sucks, bro, because remember we was talking about last time, like, that's the kind of thing, if we wanted to have that broad discussion, I hate that we as men got to answer for this lane. Like, yeah, I know like some dudes are out here, more and more dudes, but it still ain't the majority of us, bro. Like,
right.
That's like telling a Muslim person they got to answer for every time there's a terrorist act. Like, bro, that's not my fucking people.
Right.
I don't rock with this dude. I don't roll with dudes like this. You know what I mean? But like, we got to answer for clowns like Tory. That's what pisses me off the most. You know what I mean?
Well, I ain't gonna lie, man. I've been riding with Tory because this whole shit just stories sound like bullshit, and Kelsey's stories sound like bullshit. So I've been kind of riding with him, like, hey, and shit, it could be like they still could. I've been saying like I think she lied, and it sounds like it still ain't changing my mind. I don't give a fuck how many times I hear this nigga Tory apologize, because we don't know what he apologized for. You know, somebody ain't telling the truth here. And it's real funny. The ones that keep talking the most, story just sound real fucking fucked up.
Well, but that's the thing, right? The two people who were talking the most, who, let's be clear, did the most talking, one of them had an immunity deal. The other was found guilty in all charges. Because Tory, we have to remember, the person who couldn't keep their mouth shut initially about this incident was Tory and his publishers.
Really? Because I feel like Tory was the main one not saying much.
No, Megan wasn't saying shit until Tory and his team started spilling beans like a bunch of self-snitchers that these rappers are today. Because the original thing, remember, the original thing was it was just supposed to be glass or like, shrapnel or whatever. And then it came out, it's still accused, but then it came out that Tory had offered Kelsey and Megan a meal apiece to stay shut about it.
Yeah.
But Megan wasn't going to say, but Megan, remember, Megan only hopped on that IG live that we saw after Tory and them was running their mouth on that shit.
I knew Op ass was gonna pop right back up.
Hey, Op, how you doing, man?
What's good?
What's the deal? I know what you gotta say, bro.
All right. Sorry, my brother, but you're wrong. The issue is it's a lot of speculation and hearsay. For as Tory being the one that putting out information through his team and all that, through bloggers and all that. Actually, what happened is you got people that's doing a lot of reporting. So when the initial statement came out for Sean Kelly, nobody put that out. Other people was able to like do some digging and find like they got their connections and things of that nature. Tory never said anything. And then, well, no, he did say certain things, but he waited a while to say something after Meg said he's the one that shot her. And then Tory also gives a testimony on his IG when he was talking that Rock Nation was the one that called him to make sure he didn't say nothing. And he was like, I'm just going to say it's not what you think it is. They were like, no, don't say nothing. Next thing you know, she come out talking about, she kept saying she got shot. And she said, people playing with me and all that. So Tory, you shot me, blah, 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 and all this, what she said. And then when Tory was talking about it, he was like, I never said nothing. I was not saying nothing. You're going to have to go back and actually find out it was me. So when they say that, it's just speculation because you got to think, whose house was she at when they got into the argument before everything happened? She was at Kylie Jenner's house. They
right,
beefing
who he was
now.
trying to smash, who he was trying to stay there and smash.
Exactly. So how we don't know her people didn't bring that up, because I was also hearing reports that some of her people was running their mouth, but nobody got on them about anything.
Yeah.
And
so all of that is
wrong,
just
guys. When did that mixtape or album that Tory dropped? Was that before or after Megan hopped on IG Live?
Way
I
after.
don't remember.
Yeah, Daystar Peter, that came way out. That came like that was last year. I think that was last year when that came out or something like that.
Came, I think it came out the same year though. But
no, I thought that was like 2021 or like earlier this year.
Hold on, I'll check while y'all. Hold on, I'll check real quick. Hold on.
Anyways, in the phone call that Tory and Kelsey had, all right, so Tory was like, "Hey, hit up my security guard and tell him do what he got to do to bail me out." All right, and she was like, "Yeah, but we was thinking about trying to get you out anyway, because the longer you stay in there."
Okay, yeah, you're right. It came out. Actually a couple months after that
Couple
situation
months
happened.
after, because I remember I was
Yeah.
begging that shit. Because praising the Most High.
Yeah,
Remember the
I thought,
video?
but I thought it was like the top of
See,
2021. My bad.
see that's what I was saying, guys. Like Tory and his publishers, and then he started leaking the shit, and that's when remember the public pressure came up, and then people started pressuring Megan to speak on it because Tory was doing this indirect, non-direct answer and non-answer bullshit.
But
No, but that came out. Hold on, but that came out after she made her statement.
Yeah.
So all of the stuff that was being said that came out, this is what I'm saying. It's speculation and hearsay because a big situation like that, we all know, especially with internet trolls these days, when something happens, and this is my thing, I can't say whether it's true or not, but what I'm saying is to go just directly off that and they're not showing any
we
proof.
can't. Right.
That's what I'm saying, because it's just speculation and hearsay. If you say that in an actual respectable courtroom, they're supposed to say, objection, Your Honor, that's hearsay.
Right, but we have to remember. Oh, my bad, Rob.
No, I was just gonna say this. Remember too, the first phone call. I remember first audio video we watched.
Yeah.
Kelsey said that, hey, because when Tory said, hey, tell my security guard to do what he got to do to get me out, and she said like, hey, well, we was thinking about trying to get you out anyway because the longer you stay, it's gonna get high because Meg's team is already like on it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Terrell, you might want to put yourself on mute.
Hold on, I got it.
My bad.
Go ahead, Rob.
But no, she told him like, hey, you know, Meg team is already on it. She's talking to these bloggers, these apps and shit, like putting some of the story out. Just, you know, no names is out there yet, but Meg team is already on it.
Yeah, I remember that.
So look, so ain't no telling if Meg team was putting shit out there before him, because honestly, I didn't hear shit from. If I remember, I ain't heard shit from Tory, you know, his team or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, remember, there was that period where they literally, like Rock Nation, that's what I was talking about. They was like, yo, bro, you just need to lay low. Like right now, everything that's coming out of your mouth is just making it worse, whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
No, that was actually he was saying that was before he ever said anything. They had already gave him a phone call, like I think he said a couple days after or something.
Yeah,
and
then
it was like,
wasn't Rock Nation trying to get him to just shut up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Nobody knew that until he came out on his IG live and said it. So I think that's the biggest issue, is because to me what they're doing is trying to pull on everybody's heartstrings instead of just going off the facts. Because Sean Kelly made a statement that same night, and when he came to testify, it still was like 80% the same. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy's like 75 now, so he was like 73 when it happened. And you mean to tell me now when we get to court, y'all trying to flip it? Like I seen people like Tamika Mallory and my son, who I used to respect, but now it's like we got a black man versus a black woman. Y'all want to take the woman's side, even with the facts. But if it was a white cop versus Tory Lanez, I guarantee you all this facts that came out, they would be like, oh no, they just trying to railroad this black man. I'm like, see, I can't ride with people like you. Either you gonna stick to the facts, or you gonna be on some heartfelt shit. I'm just for my people, fuck everybody else. You gotta make up your mind. You can't do one or the other. It gotta be in the middle.
Well, I can take it a step further. I'm about to say, if Megan was a white girl,
exactly,
they'd be like, oh no, you know, we gotta protect this brother. You know,
white women. You see what happens every time these pretty
man.
white girls go missing, right? You know
if this was Taylor Swift.
That's why, like, when I speak on this, I speak on the context of what the charges originally are, like just based on the charges. And at the end of the day, when you put the testimony and everything that's happened related to the crimes that Tory got charged and convicted of, it makes sense. Because at the end of the day, again, this gets back to what we was talking about before, guys. If you're already on probation, why are you moving like this? At least because guess what? If he would have just not had the gun on him, none of this would have happened.
Well, you know what? His lawyer said that he was never on probation. Because you talking about that gun charge, right? He had a
Yeah, but he
previous.
was on probation.
No, actually, see, Teru, how much did you follow of this case?
I have followed when he had got charged, I think with like assault or something earlier, and then he had the
August?
legal. Yeah, prior to the limo incident, and then the reason he got charged with the weapon was because he was probation and he's not an American citizen, so he's not allowed to carry.
Did you know that? Come to find out, not only his lawyer but other people that was in the courtroom that was reporting it, he was never on probation. So it's like, where did that come from? See,
I
that's
thought
why
that
I'm
came
asking
from
you.
his team.
No, it wasn't his team. It was people that was in the courtroom that was reporting on it that also said this. It was other people reporting on it, and see, that's what I'm saying. It's
This
so
is
many.
why I don't like bloggers, bro. Because
No, but
I'm relying on them, like you are. You know what I mean? Trying to get the right information.
no, I get that, but the people that are reporting on it are not regular bloggers. These are attorneys.
Yeah.
They're not just regular bloggers. So I'm talking about
Gotcha.
the attorneys. You got Eddie Byron and you got Mo Gagnon. These are attorneys. So if they go around putting out false information, they can be barred for that. So
Yeah.
this is why I asked you that question, Taru, because a lot of people keep getting information from Meg's team from their side of the story, and they're not getting all of the facts. And then also when you said what he's been charged with in the jury, another thing, people are not actually going off Sean Kelly's testimony because Sean Kelly was talking about the incident. He's the one that when they had the statement, people found the statement of what he said, and it actually says they fault. She was the one that went back to the car, and then when the flash first happened, it was coming down from her hand. And then he said Tory wrestled with her for a second and then pointed in the air when he shot. So when they start reporting it, if you got Tamika Mallory and my son and other people like that, they're reporting stuff that still is coming from Megan's side. They're not reporting anything that came from the courtroom. And that's what the issue at, because they're talking shit about the bloggers or the lawyers reporting it, but everything that they reported is actually being said and coming out now. Like Balago Grams, she did some good reporting. She a blogger, but she's done good reporting. And everything that's coming out now, she been said that. Like this whole recording of Tory apologizing, that came out the following year in 2021. So a lot of people are not getting all the full facts and information. And like I said, they're trying to pull on people's heartstrings because they're barely giving the facts and then trying to make it look like Tory just this big bad wolf. Like all his incidents was physical. It was never gunshots.
But it was gunshots. Because unfortunately, bro, like I had to admit that I was wrong because I was originally defending Tory until he was found guilty, and then I stopped looking at the bloggers and I start looking at my original sources like the New York Times, CNBC. Like for example, he got charged with 3 things, right? Charged with assault with a semi-automatic firearm and carrying a loaded unregistered firearm in the vehicle. Prosecutors had added a 3rd charge, just charging a firearm with gross negligence, and he got convicted on all 3, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what the facts say, because the testimony says that, remember, he had the firearm, and when the cops pulled up, guess who's the firearm was in his hand. So at the end of the day, it's his firearm that he's not supposed to have, or he's not supposed to be firing, and then he's found with it when the cops pull up.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem. See what you said, you just saying off what he's charged. And there's been plenty of people that have been charged wrong, and when they get appeals, kind of find out they're innocent. Like look at the Central Park 5 back in the 80s. So
You're
when
right,
you
that's
say that,
facts, but he's charged and convicted now.
they was convicted too. That's why they had got time. They had to keep appealing for years. They was in jail for the one that served the less time did like at least around 7 years. So the problem, I get what you're saying, but the problem is you saying because he was found guilty. But if you look at the facts, like I just said with Sean Kelly's testimony, you're not bringing up what he said as the testimony, and that's the problem.
Right, but I'm
People
also
keep
not
doing
bringing up. I'm also not bringing up Megan's testimony either. I'm just bringing up what the investigators put together. Because remember, Megan was lying on social media and all this shit either. That's why I can't. Like
You
that
mean
IG
hold
live
on, real quick. You mean the investigator that got put off the case because he was committing DV against his own wife?
Yeah, and then the investigator they had to replace with the investigator. You see how even you see how sloppy this whole
That's what I'm saying. So why not? But that's what I'm saying. So at least why not go off Sean Kelly's testimony that really didn't change since 2 years ago?
Because the jury also used his testimony and still found Tory guilty.
But
because remember, the jury got access to evidence that we and the bloggers and even some of those attorneys don't have, right? So we don't have that. We're not sitting in that whole big ass that table and going all over the facts and the evidence and the recordings and shit like that.
But hold on. But question, even still, if you know did you actually get a chance to read or hear what his testimony was?
I've seen some of it, and I agree because I also saw the article that said about 75 to 80% of his testimony was consistent.
Exactly, like I said.
Yeah.
So this is my thing. Regardless of what they convicted him of, I'm saying, do you find it fishy that they had his testimony and every testimony that they had from Meg and Kelsey kept changing and found out that they were lying? And the most concrete testimony that they had, they didn't go off of that. They went off the ones that kept being found that they've been lying the whole time. You don't find an issue with that?
The reason why I don't is because the jury also took into account all the other evidence. I had used this example up in a different panel. You are standing on the ground. I'm standing behind the gas station. Rob's standing on top of the skyscraper, and somebody just got caught cheating on his wife with his other baby mama. And then they're all witnessing the same incident of the limo from a different perspective. Guess what? There's a whole bunch of things that you saw from your perspective that I didn't see from mine, and vice versa. And so they're going to take in all those eyewitness testimony and they're putting all of that together.
Okay, but I'm just trying to understand, going off facts.
Right.
If come to find out, you say one person on the skyscraper, one person is standing by the gas station, the other person standing where?
Like in a random building.
Okay. So let's say the person on the skyscraper is the one that's sober, but the other two are drunk or high.
Right. But
Which
if he's
one?
standing on the skyscraper, that the vision's probably blurry because he can't see that far down, right? Like watching an NFL game in the nosebleeds.
Got you. Good point. So let me ask then, with you saying that, let me ask you this. If that's the case, right? These other two people are drunk, the other person is not. That's on the skyscraper. Do you think it makes sense to relegate what the person said on the skyscraper out of the whole equation? Or are you able to say, well, his vision may be a little impaired because of the distance, but we got two other people that visions are impaired because they're drunk. So doesn't that kind of put them on the same? Right, that balance them out. So when you put the thing, what I gather, well, actually, hold on, we talking so much. Rob, do you want to play the rest of the audio? I don't want us to get off track from that.
Nah, so I was just letting y'all ride through. But yeah, we can watch.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, my bad. I don't want to take away from what you're doing. My bad.
No, we good, bro. It's good conversation.
No, it's okay. It ain't that much time left. Do you think?
Yeah, bro, we good.
And now you're telling me this isn't the way. Like, what's the way? Like, let me know the way.
So it seems like there was a discord, if you want to call it that, between you and Megan about how the information was coming out. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's fair to say. That's very fair. And so,
you're listening to Street TV.
So, I'm like, I don't know anything but the truth, Megan. And she's like, so I'm upset. I'm upset because she didn't clear my name. Like, that's my main reason for Megan. She never protected me, never defended me. She made this all about her, like as if I didn't suffer with her. So it put me in the seat with the bad guys, Yep. Never not once cleared my name. Mind you, she had no reason to be upset with me because at that time she did not know that I had met with Tory. She didn't know this, so she had no reason to treat me anyway or.
One that meeting with Tory was innocent anyways, right? To get your property back.
Right.
And
to get my property back, and exactly, there's no ill intent.
Right.
I can be very truthful. I have nothing to hide. All these things, like, it's gonna come out when it's supposed to. Yeah. I'm not here to get on the internet and tell every detail. Yeah. That's what she doesn't understand.
Yeah.
So, you know, we went back and forth a little bit in text messages, and I could share those messages too. You know, I'm getting threats. So
Are you getting threats? Are you talking about from the public?
I'm getting threats from the public. I have been approached in person.
By people in public?
Mm-hmm. That's why, like, I've honestly been in isolation since this has happened. Events that I had to attend just because they were paid, and sometimes, like, it takes me out. Like, you can ask him. It takes me like an hour or more to get out of the car before I go into somewhere, because I don't know what people think of me. People think I took hush money. People think because this is what she's put out there, and it's like, even though this guy is the bad guy, I guess, she has done a lot of damage to me by what she does on the internet.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, it's not fair because I didn't betray her. So, anyways, so she was like, she had demanded me.
Hey, I will say this, bro. Her tears sound more realistic than fucking Meg's.
Not really.
No, they don't.
They
It
don't?
sounded. Let me tell you, and I probably knows this too. The lead investigator or the attorney in there, there's only one sentence he paid attention to. She put me in the same seat as the bad guy. That's the implication that Tory shot Meg. Right? This whole audio recording is basically about how Megan didn't have Kelsey's back when all this shit was going down, basically implying that she's the reason why Tory shot her. That's all the prosecutor heard, because everything else is just social media bullshit. Oh, I don't feel safe, and Megan was all being mean to me, and all. All that prosecutor heard was when she was describing the thing, how it went down in the limo, and that Megan had put me in the same seat as the bad guy. That's all he cared about.
And it bothers me because she said, I guess. This is my biggest issue where I have a problem at. Why would you not just say he did it and leave it at that? Like, not saying, if they ask you questions.
I said the same fucking thing, bro. I said, even if they wanted to just protect and just try to escape, why couldn't they just be like, hey guys, we got into a tussle, accidental discharge, but nobody's pressing anything, and it just be done.
Yeah, because they said Meg is not the one pressing charge of the state of California, right?
Yeah, it's the prosecutor. It's not Alex Spiro, her actual attorney for Rock Nation. It's not them. It's just when she went out and did that, which is what the state does. Like, if something happens in these type of situations, the state will choose to pick it up or not.
Yeah.
So,
if they would have kept their story straight, the state wouldn't have picked this shit up.
And that's why I don't, like, me personally, that's why I don't think Tory him and his team start putting stuff out, because if you pop somebody, you're gonna be like, shut the fuck up. You're not gonna allow your team to say anything, and then you gotta think, who is his team? When did he get this lawyer? It's like, that doesn't make any sense to go put it, because you gotta remember, he was already independent. Rock Nation tried to sign him, he didn't want to go with them or anybody else for that matter. So it's like, what team would go out there and put that out there and make her look bad, knowing he did it? And that's why I'm like, I question it, because the biggest part of me, just factually thinking about this situation, is like, I don't think that would make sense for him to do that. So that's why I'm questioning, like, did Kelsey have something to do with it? Because I'm still trying to be unbiased. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Tory or Megan. And it's like, even though I like his music better than hers, that's not a reason to okay somebody doing something wrong, God forbid, to anybody. Like, no, I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's cool if people out there, he made good music. Like, I hear idiots say that about R. Kelly. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, dog, he like, this is my thing. When he got caught, I'm like, by time, how did it take y'all so long? They got a video out there and did y'all know that one of the cases that they could have actually used the tape of R. Kelly in court messing with a young girl intimately, if you get my drift, they chose not to use it?
How did they get that removed from evidence?
Because the person, I forget the white lady, her name Nancy something, she always in these cases. She said they didn't want them to use it. I'm like, but why not? It don't matter if the girl was willing. She's 14, he's 30 something, 40 at this time. It don't
That's
matter if she
hard.
was willing. It still was statutory. I'm not gonna say the other word, but it still was statutory. So what are we, so this is my thing. If he actually had did it, man, go ahead and prosecute his ass. Don't sit there and take up for him. I'm so tired of hearing that. Oh, well, you know, if you're a victim and you do, but then you want to come back and tell IG that he did it versus going to the police. I can't rock with that. I'm tired of
See,
women doing
I
that.
understand what you're saying now because I can absolutely see a scenario where either Kelsey or Megan Steen tried to run like your typical scorned girl side mission, right? Let's try to get Tory or one of his publishers to walk into the trap on some social media shit and get the snowball going. Right. Even if that was true though, I still can't get past the fact that Tory bribed each of them $1 million to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but did you hear that Kelsey never, and when she got in court, she never admitted that he paid her anything?
Yeah.
Bro, Kelsey also got on stand and lied, bro. Like Kelsey is the liar. You know what I mean?
Megan too, because she lied about them even having relations. She lied about them being him being the issue that they both fought. So when you see all of those, I'm like,
and she
I
lied
can't.
how she got shot twice because on the Instagram video she said she was walking, he shot her from behind.
Bro, they had the medical examiners.
Yeah,
they had the
she
medical examiners, bro. She definitely got shot.
But this is the problem because
I'm talking about
Kelsey's
the way she got shot. Two different stories. On Instagram, when it first happened, she's saying that she was walking and he shot her from behind. Then she go on Gail. Now it's something like, oh, he was outside out the window talking about damn dance bitch. Then he shot me.
Yeah, because that is true. She never said that the first time she got on IG that he said that. Then all of a sudden it came out when she said it. And I'm like, you didn't say that. But the biggest issue within that, with the bribery part, he said that he was about to get a big deal. Tory didn't sign no deal. Tory was independent. So I'm like, okay, so we find out that's not true. When you look at the record, he was independent when he put that out. Then he had one video where he was boasting that he was like, I was thankful I had to pray to God what I was gonna do, and then God blessed me and my team, my people that I still got around me to figure it out. We did the NFTs. He didn't sign no big deal, and that was before the incident happened. So when they say the bribery, and then she doesn't admit to it, and then if you listen to it, and this audio, which you wasn't here for earlier, but in this same audio recording of her testimony to the prosecutor, she said that he allegedly tried to offer money to her, offer also her to get a business, and offer to her an attorney. And she said, I don't need one for you. Why would I need that? So she said that, and then when she got to the testimony in court, she played it off again. So I'm like, listen, if he did it, say he did it. Yeah. And if you keep lying and acting like he didn't, I can't agree with you.
But for what you just said, she did say that he offered. Just because she didn't take it doesn't mean he didn't offer. And that's the thing, right? Like, we got to remember too, because again, I keep forgetting how long ago this incident was. Like, it seemed like this shit just happened yesterday.
Because it stayed in court for not in court, but it stayed out there in the public for all this time.
But remember that short period where Tory had that buzz going on because of his music and everything? That's probably around the time he thought he was going to get some sort of deal or something like this. And because
no, but that's what I'm saying. At this, not to cut you off, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I preference that. At the time she said that, he was already making his money. He already did what he was going to do. She said he was going to get a deal. Then she also said he was on probation. Come to find out that wasn't true. There's actually no proof that he was ever on probation at this time. Not saying he was. Not saying before it happened he never was. But I'm saying at this time they say he was not on probation. And this is what I'm saying. It's too much. It's too much bullshit.
My only aspect with the probation, because I really don't. I think the probation was like one of them petty ass charges, even if it was true. Like, I was just saying from the standpoint of, if you're already got some heat on you just operating as a man, and then you're already not a citizen, you probably shouldn't have a firearm, unregistered firearm with you. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
this is nothing. I don't know how true this is. I think we got to wait for this to come out. Did you see the alleged weapon that they saying that Tory popped her with?
now here's the thing. I keep hearing the gun itself, the type keeps changing. What have you heard?
Something about it was yeah, you're right, because from my understanding it was a regular standard 9, right?
Right.
Then it went to like the C, what do they call it? Size C2 or something like that. 9. It's like a little bigger than a 380.
Right, but it was supposed to be a whole different caliber bullet that was, and that's what I was saying, bro. Like they kept on saying the caliber bullet, the caliber of the bullet changed, the firearm changed. I'm like, okay, well, what's the question?
They said, because I thought they said the gun because they say he shot a gun in the air, right? And that said that wasn't the same gun that shot Matt. That's why they couldn't find no DNA on the gun. Well, his DNA.
Well, they did find the DNA, and that's what I was going to tell Op and Rob. This is important because remember the witness perspectives I gave you guys? It's probably feasible that if you were standing at the gas station, you were close enough to see Tory when he was firing up in the air, probably screaming, "Dance, bitch, dance." That's probably when he was firing off those rounds in the air. If you just try to put it together, you know what I mean?
But don't forget, because when they asked her in the courtroom, she said, "I don't know where that came from because I didn't hear that."
Yeah, but from Megan's standpoint, just from a human standpoint, this is chaotic. I mean, for all three of them, this is just chaos. You know what I mean?
No, I get that, but that's what I'm saying. She said she never heard that, and that's where it becomes an issue at. And like I said, if he did it, then they should just go ahead and say it. So what would make, because I'm gonna ask you this, because I asked Rob this earlier. To me, I was like, what would make her still try to protect Meg, even though Meg backdoored her with 3 different dudes, including Tory, and then Meg protect her if it was a possibility, because with the residue, the gun residue and all that. And I think it was possibly her fingerprints on the magazine clip, like it was loaded. So I'm like, what would, just coming from our perspective, for us that don't believe Kelsey, right? What would you think would make sense why they would protect each other, considering they both was crossed when it comes to Tory?
Because for women especially, that social media reputation really matters. And to find out that I mean, let's be clear here. I know Tory's a rapper, but to find out that you got 2 women fighting in a limo over a 5'3" dude, you getting clowned for that. Especially when, even though I think she's attractive, people already make fun of Megan Thee Stallion and how big she is, like how she looks and stuff like that. And so from a social media reputation and from a woman's standpoint, now you can see why they shit got sloppy real quick. I hate to be like that. It tell women they emotionally sloppy in situations, but that's the truth. But we have to remember too that it is true that both of them at this time with the whole George Floyd thing, both of them or all 3 of them had good intentions to try to just, hey, let's try to move on here. But that's the thing. I think the problem is that if it was us 3, obviously we wouldn't be in this situation, but I'm pretty sure us 3 would be able to keep our mouth shut and keep the story straight.
I'm sorry, bro, but that George Floyd shit is an excuse. I said that earlier. Like, niggas, they want to bring that nigga up every fucking time, bro. But niggas is not here.
But don't you think it's legit? Because we also use the narrative that black women be the first ones to call the cops on black men. Then Megan would have did that, right? That was her chance to throw Tory under the bus right there on the spot. And she didn't do that.
Man, the police it is what it is with the police.
Bro, they would have been, come on. If Megan would have came out talking about, oh, this man got a gun, they would have opened fire on that limo. Y'all know it.
Hey, shout out to Black Man on Filter. He in this thing. It's late over here. It's like 2:00 over here. But he said, so what if he did shoot her? She probably was doing some dumb shit. And then he also
Come
said,
on, BM. Jesus.
that young man Matthew the Stallion was probably talking shit.
Yeah, he tripping.
That's
Yeah, man. What are you doing?
Hey, twin. What?
But
Hey,
yeah, you want to go back to the
Matthew
rest of
the
the
Stallion.
audio?
That's a good one. I call her Megan the Horse, but
I remember somebody called her Mega Man.
See, man, y'all got me. What fucking gun did Tory use? I'm about to look up.
Yo, twin, you wildin'. Shout out to my twin, man. Yeah, he said shout out to. I don't know if he's serious or he's just talking shit, but but yeah, man, let's man, let's get shit. We're gonna finish this video real quick. I know it's late
I
as
need to
fuck.
finally get on the internet. Kelsey, I need you to get on Instagram and say this. Say what happened to you and say what happened to me. By that time, I had got Don, my lawyer, and he told me, no, you're not playing social media games. She's not pressing charges. Because, like I said,
This was before the case he'd been
Right.
arrested for filed on a case. Yeah.
right. Mind you, her manager had
I'll
her
be back,
disclose
y'all.
to me that she was not going to press charges on him or anything. So I thought it was okay. Like, like she's not mad at him, whatever. But it wasn't until she believes her Tory's team was putting out statements through social media, making her seem like a drunk, making her seem all these things. That's what upset her. And that's what finally made her get on Instagram. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be here.
And put out the truth about what that her getting shot. Okay.
Correct. So she demanded that I get on Instagram and do the same. And my lawyer said no. He said no, you're not doing social media games. You're not pressing charges. So you don't have to be involved in that.
Yeah.
We're handling your situation now.
Yeah.
You let her handle hers the way she wants, and we're gonna handle this how I advised you to. So I informed her of that. She said, Kelsey, that's bullshit. You got a lawyer now? Like, that's bullshit. She didn't believe me. And at this point, I'll have to go back to the dates, but I have finally, told her, Megan, I need to tell you, I need to talk to you. And I disclosed to her that I spoke with Tory. And she was like, he's just trying to play with you. Like, he's just trying to play you. And so finally, after I told her I wasn't getting on the internet, she was like, how could you meet with somebody? And, and I said, Megan, like, I'm trying to obtain, I have the messages. I can, like I said, I can provide when I go back to my phone. So she thought I was lying. She said there was bullshit. Like, oh, now your lawyer's telling you don't do this. That's bullshit. So I'm like, you're reaching out to me. I'm realizing this is disingenuous. It's not genuine. We're pretty much going back and forth, and I'm telling her, like, I'm still speaking to her. She's like, how are you arguing with me in private? I said, this isn't an argument. This is a conversation.
Yeah.
We're having a conversation.
You're listening to Street TV.
So finally, I believe we stopped communicating, and then she took it to Instagram Live, and she made a video. And this video just added more fuel to the fire. She's on there. She's like, I wouldn't, for no amount of money, would I change on, she basically made it seem as if I had to touch
Tory's money.
Correct.
Okay.
So I sent her a text and I said, I don't know why you're bashing me on the internet. I said, I'm not sure why you're bashing me on the internet. I know you're hurt, and I'm also hurt. I said, but my intentions are to never, go on the internet and bash you. Mm-hmm. She didn't acknowledge it. She kept on with her internet. They were just trying to make me break on Instagram, on social media, come out and finally just blast everything. It took a lot for me to not do it. She had her friends, they were saying things on the internet. Oh, you took hush money. That's how you got your chain. I had got a pendant that has my dad's death day on it. Mind you, this pendant had already been purchased way before. It just finally became ready around in August of that year. This pendant was purchased in July of 2020 or June 2020
Okay.
or before that. So her friend, you know, and we were all friends. So I know how Megan operates. This was basically something she approved for her to post. Oh, now you're delusional, you stupid bitch. Yeah, you must have took that hush money. That's how you got your little chain. It was a lot of evil things in that message. And
So it sounds like your friendship completely changed.
oh, it was over. So if you ever thought I was now going to get on the internet and say anything to you, that's over.
So, I mean, this is a question that's going to be asked when trial comes around. And this question we want to ask you just so we can clear the air on this. You know, are you telling us what happened in that night, as you tell us now? Are you telling all of this to protect her or to get back in her good graces?
Oh, not at all. My purpose of me speaking my truth is just to. I know this is obviously it's like a never-ending thing, but I just want to free myself from this.
Yeah.
I tried to free myself a long time ago, but every time you turn around, she's making a song about me, making a diss track about me, talking about me. And see, that's the other thing that people don't understand. They think that we fell out behind Tory. It's not true.
It
just had nothing to do with that. I'm not mad at her. I mean, of course, now it's like, damn, like my best friend that how could you do that to me?
This is all because of the aftermath of the shooting.
Exactly.
And how it was presented.
That's why I'm so upset because one, you didn't protect me.
Yeah.
Two, y'all were on the internet doing all this. Three, you called around Houston telling people that I took hush money and not to talk to me. Like you're really trying to make people not like me. You know what I'm saying? For what? I was really a good friend to her.
So you think she was really upset that you wouldn't put out a statement to back her up on the internet, and then she felt that the only reason you would do that is because Tory paid you off. When in reality, your lawyer was advising you not to do it.
And she knows that because my lawyer also made contact with her lawyer at the time, Alex Sparrow, and asked for her to stop. And they said, well, why won't she make a statement, you know? And he told her, well, your client's not.
I'm sorry, you know, I'm just on this type of time right now. But goddamn, nigga, you're gonna have all this other shit on. You could at least cut your mustache and shit, nigga. Goddamn. Like, well, what's the fucking point? Like, I'm sorry, y'all. This shit just don't make no sense out here. Like, you gonna go all in, my nigga. Like,
not pressing charges. My client doesn't want no involvement.
So my other question to you, and again, I think this is something that will be asked on the road, is once the case was filed, I know we didn't get to talking to you until today.
Right. I just didn't want to didn't want to like be involved. I didn't want to voluntarily put myself in a situation, and this girl's not backing me up at all. She's not here for me. She has made it real hard for me in real life. You know, like I just like, why? You're not protecting me. You're not doing nothing for me. Like, let them let y'all do what y'all have to do. You know, I'm never running away from it or like, you know, I'm ready for the facts to come out, you know, and
that's the way this should get, not on social media, not piecemeal.
Not on social media. She has done a lot. She had made a dish. I'm not a person that likes to do the social media back and forth, but this has made me do it. And I hate that because that's not my character.
Yeah.
Mind you, I have run a business. So I can't just always do things like that. Like sometimes I don't even like to go around people because I don't know how they feel about me. Sometimes I don't even present myself as Kelsey because, oh, you're the girl that took hush money. Like I've had people come up to me, right? I don't go to grocery stores. I've been to a dollar store and got pinned in a corner. People come up to me, you took hush money. Like she has made it real difficult. And why?
Yeah.
I didn't betray you.
Yeah.
She's putting the word out that I betrayed her. That's not true. It was obviously the other way around. But
this trial will be an opportunity for everybody to speak their truth.
To finally speak the truth. And that's what I'm happy for. And that's the other thing. Like, you know, now I'll be able.
And these are terrible prosecutors because, goddamn it, did she drop a diss track too?
Bro, I actually pulled up the write-up on the timeline. Goddamn, bro. Tory was out here moving sloppy, bro.
Yeah.
My man was like the testimony again, just from the perspective of what they're going of the 3 charges, bro. This shit is it's just damning. Like the text that he sent Megan apologizing. Then remember, he tried to claim he was drunk and didn't even remember what happened. You know, it's and then yeah, in court they had used the testimony that so what happened in court was Megan had testified on the stand that Tory had offered $1 million for the bribery. The only reason that wasn't used in court was because the judge said it would be fair to admit that at this time, at this junction of the court. So it wasn't that it's not speculation. It was like what I was talking about with the judge not wanting to use the tape in the R. Kelly case. It's the same thing. Like, hey, well, we're too far down the line here. I mean, like when it comes to Tory in these 3 cases, man, it's I don't know what to say other than, bro, don't. He had it coming, bro. He shot her. He shot her because he got his feelings hurt, bro.
Yeah, I gotta disagree with that.
She started talking.
I don't think it was that. I don't know, Tyrell.
Bro, I'm telling you, like I told you, bro, ain't none of us 3 on this panel pulling out a gun in this situation, bro. None of them 2 women fight.
So don't you think that's reasonable doubt then?
It's reasonable doubt if we don't have a gun found on us when the cops show up. That's the only way that works, bro.
It don't. But that's the thing, because they were trying to argue like, are you sure that was really his gun or he just took the charge? But bigger than that, that doesn't mean he's gonna take the gun and possibly pop her because of that. And then you got to take into account they keep hiding the fact that they fought. So when Kelsey testified, oh, we might have bumped into each other. Really? Because Sean Kelly said he seen her go to the back of the car. Then she also admits that she went to the back of the car to see about her getting her stuff out the trunk. And I'm like, okay, so y'all not putting 2 and 2 together? Like when you have all this reasonable doubt to just, oh yeah, he did it. That's silly, because you have to take that into account. That is a possibility. That's their line.
If those arguments were valid, the judges he's paying, the attorneys he's paying $1 million for would have used that in court.
Which part?
All of it. If any of that was true, he would be found not guilty.
No, but see, this is where's the problem, because we already know over time, and I brought this up, biggest issue is there has been a lot of time the so-called peers, we got people of your peers on the stand, on the jury box.
His attorney's not even appealing the charges, bro. They just going through with the sentencing. They're not even appealing.
They working on the appealing.
No, they're actually working on appeal. It's not just gonna pop up and happen overnight. My bad. Sorry about that. There's all that noise in the background.
But yeah, they working on an appeal.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank God. At least they're doing their fucking jobs. But yeah, bro, I'm looking at the timeline, bro. This shit, dude. God damn.
But
like, hey, this is exactly what you was describing with the judge and the R. Kelly tape. It wasn't that it wasn't true with the bribery. It was the fact that it was too far down the line during the court proceedings to then use that as evidence.
No. That's not the same thing to R. Kelly. What I was talking about is the prosecutor chose not to use it in the beginning before the trial started. They chose not to use it.
Oh yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, okay.
You get what I'm saying? That's stupid.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Because that's the same. I get what you're saying, because the same thing with when Tory's driver showed up to testify, that's when prosecutor at first said they're gonna need a week, but next thing you know, they still went into deliberation. Yeah. So I'm like, the judge really fucked this up as well, because you mean to tell me you're not gonna hear that person's testimony? That's not on the jury, that's on you now.
Yeah, that's why they want to get the appeal so they could work on getting a new judge, new jury, all that shit. And then Kelsey over here, like, this is why I don't like what she's saying, because she's making her seem like she just like the victim in this shit. She over here talking about, well, man, she's dissing me on social media. She's making a diss record. I'm like, motherfucker, you made a diss record right back. I'm talking about the shit.
Yeah, because she said something in the song talking about you acting like I got my chain snatched. Here you go again. Here you go lying again. And I'm just like, huh?
And she said, you know who really shot you.
Yeah, that I did find that kind of funny, but she could have still been trying to allude to Tory. The key, if she was the one that did it, she's not going to sit up there and tell that she actually did it. And like, this is my thing with all the facts and everything that's come out. I just can't go off of old Tory's just guilty because let me ask you this, Taru. Did you follow the George Zimmerman Trayvon Martin case?
Yeah, they got that wrong. Hey man, dude, the juries get it wrong all the time. I think you would agree with me with Casey Anthony too, right?
That's my point. So if you can think that they got it wrong, then guess what? You should give that reasonable doubt to all cases that sound fishy when you see the facts and the jury still says guilty.
And you know what? You are absolutely correct with that, because here I am bringing up questions about the testimony and all of this. You know what I mean? And I will be more charitable with that. It's just, again, when I'm looking at, I just try to look at this specifically from how the charge is being filed, and then I'm looking at all the context around it, and I'm like, we're basically trying to say the guy who got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, that wasn't really his hand in the cookie jar. You know, it's a tough one.
Yeah. Hey y'all, we got probably 8 more minutes, some shit like that. 7, look like 6, 7. So we're gonna get this out the way, and we're gonna do final thoughts and shit.
Be able to really open up and help the public, because now they're involved, understand why me and Megan are friends. She's not going to hold herself accountable. She doesn't ever hold herself accountable to things.
And Tory needs to be held accountable.
And he needs to be held accountable too, both of them. And like I said, we could have went home that night.
Yeah.
We were on our way home. But she demanded the driver to take us back. And it wasn't because of a sandal. Tory was with Kylie still. Yeah. That's the real reason. And I forgot to even throw that part in. That just made me remember. She had tried to get me mad. She was like, Kelsey, he wants to stay with Kylie. I'm like, okay, let him stay with Kylie.
That didn't bother you at all?
No, I was way past this person.
Yeah.
Megan had actually.
You're listening to Street
asked
TV.
Me, Kelsey, can you and Tory, she wanted me on him, to talk to him. And then she was like, Kelsey, I want y'all to just keep it as friends, because we might do business and I don't want that to interfere, and I respected it.
Yeah.
I'm not a person that's like, oh, no, I respected it.
Yeah. And
we just kept the friendship, and that's it. Okay. But now when I look back at everything, it was other reasons involved.
Okay.
So no, I wasn't, me and Tory's involvement has nothing to do with that night. It came out because he obviously tried to throw her under the bus and turn me against her.
Right.
That was not the issue.
He was working the social media side as well.
I don't know how true. I don't know, but probably so. Yeah. They were putting out false narratives. Oh, Kelsey was bitter that night. And the other thing is, I don't know, my truth brings in Kylie Jenner, and I don't know if they disclose these things. I don't think they want to, because it's better to say Kelsey was the bitter best friend versus saying Megan was upset that Tory and Kylie, it's just more better, right? Okay, well, if I have to be the bitter best friend, fine, but there's still no right for all of this to be going on. Okay. And then with Megan, it makes sense now, because she told you guys that the argument started between me and him, if I'm not mistaken, and that's false. So now I know that I was pushed out because she did not tell the truth initially. Put it on me, which is fine, but I feel like that should have been a mutual thing. Like, Kelsey, I need you to just say this instead of just blaming me. That's not right.
What is she talking about?
I think there's a lot of things that not everyone is privy to. when the trial concludes and when everyone testifies, you know, there's certainly a lot of things that have been kind of leaked piecemeal out there, and some things are absolutely not true. Some things that I think still doesn't give everyone the whole picture of everything. I would say, just like everyone else, you always want to reserve any conclusions you have about what other people are saying. Even Meg, I know it's hard, but you know, wait till the end of the trial, and then you'll get a sense of where everyone's at, and then you know.
This is the opportunity for everybody. You know, they're going to take an oath to tell the truth, and they're going to give their full.
I don't even think they'll tell the truth under oath.
Well, as long as we just when you're up there, you know.
I mean, I'm telling. I have nothing to hide or lie about, even if it's something that makes me look bad.
Cap.
Straight. Hey, where Freezy at, bro?
Right. Cap. What the fuck?
Man.
You definitely did lie. You definitely had something to hide. Miss I plead the fifth. Oh shit.
Nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I think I understand why it's hard for you to, when you hear some of the stuff that Megan might say, to feel offended by some of the things that she's not including. But I'll say that, like I said, wait till the end of the trial. There's a lot of things that she's told us that's not out there. Okay? And just like everything you're telling us, it's not just going to be out there. That's so certain.
How does this work? Because
how it works is we are under a discovery protective order. So the discovery in this case, interviews of witnesses, any evidence in this case is disclosed only to the parties that need to know, which is prosecution and the defense. So there's always stuff that gets leaked a little bit. Some of it's there's a grain of truth, but there's other stuff that's not included. A lot of other stuff that's not included, and that's deliberate because this case has to be tried in court, and that's it.
Excuse me, should we further this conversation on or off record?
That's fine. This is just to explain the discovery protective order. So it's fine.
My other concern was I'm somebody who is very accessible because my business, like what I do, it involves me to be involved, you know? So that was my other thing, is just like this. I don't know how concerning.
That's when she was thinking about, oh, I should plead the fifth on these motherfuckers.
Anybody else's, but for my safety, I'm very concerned.
Okay, and we'll have a discussion about safety concerns off the record because we have to just go into more details about your lifestyle or things like that. We have to make accommodations or figure things out. That's something we'll do off the record, okay? But I think for your purposes, just so you know, we are in the home stretch. It doesn't seem like that because it's been going on for so long, but we are, and all the truth will come out from every witness in this case to some degree. And so I think, you know, I know you have strong feelings about what happened, as you should, and everything you've said to us today makes sense. I think, you know, we want to make sure that there's some resolution for everyone involved, you included, not just Meg.
The fuck is this a PTO meeting?
You're listening to Street TV.
Sees the evidence, and hopefully there's accountability, there's rectory, but we want resolution for everyone involved, including you. Okay, but that won't happen until after the trial's done.
It's understandable. I'm just ready to move
Well,
forward.
Kelsey, we're so appreciative that you came out.
All right, man. Fuck all that shit. We done.
We're gonna make sure the school buses get here on time.
Yeah, man. Hey, man.
This shit is.
Hey, it's real funny. She was like, "Oh, I ain't got nothing to hide." Then she has all these questions like, "So how do this work?" This is very concerning. Yeah, I think that's when she.
Correct, Rob. At the beginning, did they make her swear under oath, or was just her a recording of her just randomly flapping her gums?
No, this is an interview. So no, she's not in the courtroom. This is her talking to the prosecutors and shit.
Under oath, right? Like like this is testimony.
This is her. Well, it's not testimony. Like they interviewing her, basically.
You see, bro, I can't even argue with you and Op anymore.
Yeah, it sounds like they basically preparing her like what they gonna possibly ask her in the courtroom and shit.
Bro, that
yeah. Man, you just saw it at the end, bro. She was like, "Oh, I ain't got nothing to hide." And straight cap. And once she started, oh, like, how do this work? You know, my safety is very concerning. Now I can see why she pleaded fifth, because she is scared.
You go through, you plead the fifth, and then that's how you strike your whatever your immunity plea is set up like.
She's scared of either going to jail. She's scared of people attacking her. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and this is what's so crazy, bro, because she's over here whining. Think about it. Most of her whining wasn't even about the specific case itself. It was about her feelings and how she's been treated afterwards. And then this whole time, I'm like, well, hold on. If you would have just kept your mouth shut too, we wouldn't be in this situation.
right.
Right.
If you
So
even
it's
say,
like,
hey, I'm not in it. Hey, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Hey, Megan, my friend. Hey, I was just fucking around with Tory. I don't know what the fuck they got going on.
Yep. She
Yeah,
really
man.
could have pulled that. I don't know shit.
Yeah, man. This shit goofy.
Yo, you got the shot audio? You say you was gonna play that real quick.
All right. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we can play that, and then we gonna end this motherfucker after that. And they got a lot of shit on here. Shout out to Street TV, man. They got a lot of shit. They got videos of Meg in the ambulance, crying and shit. Got videos of her foot bleeding, close-ups. I guess it's one say LAPD custody. I got LAPD taking Tory Lanez. They got all type of shit. But let me see if I can find this shit.
Guys, to any of the men who ever watched this video, please do a few things while Rob finds these videos. Don't shoot women. At the very minimum, have your firearm registered. So if you live in a state that requires a CCW, go get you a CCW and call it a day. If you live in a state like Ohio, you can just have it on you public. Just make sure you did it. The background check, you bought a firearm, you got it in a fucking weapons case. Just do the bare minimum. And for the love of God, do not get into the same car with two women you're fucking and they don't know that it's a love triangle. For the love of God, don't do that.
Thank you. That's what I was about to say. Don't even get involved in a situation like that at all.
Yeah,
do you guys see that it's not an R&B music video situation? This is what it looks like in real life, folks. Sloppy and unnecessary as fuck. Don't do that.
Hey, I'll be right back. Hold it down for a minute, fellas. Just keep talking.
Okay, cool.
Why would he get in that car, bro? Why if you're him, do you get in this car?
You know what? I had to seriously think about that for the last few days, and the only thing that makes sense is because what was testified from EJ and Kelsey that corroborates in that part is when Meg came back. EJ said the way her and Kylie started interacting, it looked like Kylie don't like her because he know both of them. So he like, I know Kylie, I know Meg, it's time to go, bitch. So he was just telling her your wig fucking up or some shit to get her out of there. So he leaves, they don't leave with him, which is what didn't make any sense. I'm like, why y'all didn't just leave with the person who dropped y'all off? That's another thing that could have helped, right? But then not only that, when Kelsey said when she came back, it was an issue. And Rob, you muted?
Yeah, my bad.
So she said Megan was laughing uncontrollably while they was leaving, and then she made Tory driver Quan come back because she forgot her Louis Vuitton slipper. She went inside, but she had to call first because they Kylie had like 5-6 security guards outside. They go in, her and Quan go in, and then she said she don't remember her coming back with a slipper, but Tory came back, and Quan told her the reason why is because they was arguing, and Kylie was like, y'all got to get the fuck out of here. So the only thing that made sense why he left, because he was trying to just get them to go, but she came back. And then she said they was in there arguing. That's what the driver
Kylie
told
just
her.
wanted all of them gone.
Yeah, so now Tory can't get there and smash, so it's like he got to leave. So he tried, but Megan came back acting a fool. Allegedly, that's what two different people testified to. So I think that's the only reason why he left when he was actually trying to stay.
Hey, how do you think? Because this is the part I know it shouldn't matter, but for me it matters because all of this is stupid anyway. How do you think the conversation went down to where they found out it was a love triangle?
Because Kelsey said Megan was trying to hype her up by saying Kylie this, Kylie that. They kicking it and all that, and bitch, she said that. So she testified when she actually got on the stand, the reason why he was like, because you didn't hear the audio earlier, but she also said this in the stand and cleared it up. She was like, she kept talking all this shit, talking about he trying to fuck with Kylie, but he was like, bitch, how you gonna say that when me and you been fucking and you fucked Ben Simmons and the baby? So that's what Kylie finally testified on the stand. So he should have just took his licks when she was talking shit. He shouldn't even said anything.
Yeah, bro. He got his feelings hurt.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this little audio real quick. Shit, I don't know if I can play some shit like this, but we should be straight.
You're listening to Street TV.
And that was it.
I don't know, bro. That sounds like I could pull that fucking sound clip from anywhere.
What'd you say, bro?
That sounds like a standard gunfire shot from like anywhere, bro. Like you could pull up a hunting video and find a similar fucking shot.
Yeah.
Thank you. Finally, we really agree on something. When I first heard, cause I got that on my channel. When I heard that, I was like, I'm from the hood. When somebody from the hood is mad and they popping at you, it's not gonna sound like that. It's gonna be pop, pop, pop. It's gonna be rapid. It's not gonna be just
because you want that sound of alert. It's a rapid.
Yeah. So it sounds like what you said, and also like if they was at a gun range trying to show you like how to fire the weapon or something like that. It does not sound rapid.
What it could sound like. Some shit like that.
And that allegedly that's supposed to be the sound. I'm like, no, that don't sound right. I mean, I could be wrong, but it's like if y'all got that sound, then how come you don't have the ring?
How many times have you heard that similar fucking pattern like literally everywhere in real life or any fucking? You could pull that sound pattern anywhere, bro. I hope that was used in court.
They say that's what was used in court.
Yeah.
So Tarus, do you see why now, with all the evidence, especially leading up to that, where it's very questionable, at least questionable?
Like I said, man, right now it's hard because it's his gun, and when the cops pulled up, he had it in his hand, and that is his gun. So it's like, then again, what they used on court in oath with him basically apologizing for shooting her. I mean, ugh.
No, I get why you're saying what you're saying, and other people are saying what they're saying.
No, but I understand why you're skeptical as fuck, and I want to be clear and actually admit this. You guys have every right to be skeptical at this because there is a lot of questionable shit going on with this case. I will admit that.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that because it's been other people trying to argue with us. And it's like, no, just look at everything else. Even if you still think that he did it, it's reasonable doubt. It's too much reasonable doubt here. Like, it's like y'all should have let everybody testify that need to testify. You mean to tell me Justin, Megan's personal bodyguard, didn't show up? And I'm like, hold on, why would you not? And then I don't know if you've seen this, but when she was in Turk and Caicos, they was out there having fun in the pool, playing music, drinking and all that. And then Justin pulled out his firearm, playing around with it, put it to his ear, acting like he rapping. And at first they were like, oh no, Justin ran off the camera. Then they came back laughing and playing. I was like, how do you go through something traumatic like that and then your bodyguard drunk playing with a firearm? this person is supposed to protect your life, and then you want us to not question the validity of your testimony, Kelsey's testimony, and then Tory got a gag order like right after the IG and a couple tweets. It's like, no, we can't just say that. And I'm so tired of this. Because if you notice, I don't know if you've seen this too. Megan keeps saying that all the men in rap was against her when the information first came out. And I'm like, there you go again in line, because Rick Ross was against Tory.
Yeah,
Bun B was
that
against
wasn't
Tory.
true at all. I don't know why she see that, and that's what I got a big problem with. Like, why do I gotta wear what this did? What this dude did?
Right, exactly.
Like most of us do. Like I know that I'm here because a lot of our young men are slipping, but I still say, the majority of our young men and men in this world aren't that. Stop acting like we that, because we're not. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like I hate that shit. And from that standpoint, yes, man, like this is absolutely, I'd say, questionable. And the reason why, again, I still think Tory is guilty, but the reason why this is questionable and why it matters is because people also need to understand, if they even get these charges like reversed, just 2 of them, and the only charge Tory gets is the illegal firearm.
Right.
Guys, you know how many times they just chalk that up to a nasty fine and probation for people and call it a day. And then you move on.
Yeah. Especially if
You
that's
get what I mean? But
your
then
first
if
offense
those
on something
charges
like
get
that.
reversed, that's when the real heat begins. Right? And look, I don't want anybody shooting anybody. I don't want this situation being the situation it is in. For the sake of humanity, let's hope Tory really didn't shoot her. At the end of the day, guys, don't move like Tory.
And not only that, another problem I had with the situation is, say even if it was reversed and come to find out with facts, not just saying hearsay, nothing, but real facts. Say if Kelsey actually did it, that would still make me sick to my stomach, because it's like, yo, that's supposed to be your girl, and you gonna do that to her?
What's gonna get me, bro, is they are one of the 2 loudest about protect Black women, and you as a Black woman
my
shot
God.
another Black woman, bro, over a dude, like over Tory. Hey, I'm gonna be right there with you. One, I'm gonna come up on here like I always do and admit when I'm wrong, and I'm gonna be right up here with you and Rob clowning her ass, dog. Because holy shit,
yeah, and
better
that's
not.
And that what, and then you gotta think with Meg as well, because let's keep it real, she makes thought music, right? She doesn't make music actually empowering women in a healthy way. Like, let's just keep it gangster. She doesn't do it in a healthy way. Yeah, like making songs. Like I heard lyrics where she was like stealing a bitch husband and making him trick on her, making the wife mad. I'm like, but how do you say empowering Black women, and instead of respecting a woman, and if her husband is doing that, if you have a way, you let her know, like, hey, bitch, you better leave that nigga alone because he tried to come at me. I've seen real women do that.
Now that's where we have to disagree, because we're taking that too far. Because you and I are having this really dope conversation, and tomorrow morning we're going to be blasting some sort of trap music.
Oh, no. I don't have a problem with that. But my thing is this: when I listen to certain music, the artists I respect is always the ones that say defend themselves, not just I'm gonna go out here and pop this. That's why I don't listen to drill music. They just, it is, I just run down for no reason. Like Tupac, is my favorite rapper, right? Keep your head up. Dear Mama, Brenda's Got a Baby, Papa song, like making positive songs for Black people. Now, I'm not gonna sit there and say he's never made nothing wrong. He took personal shots and whatever he felt he needed to do with his East West Coast thing, which still is ignorant
I
for
love
us.
the real lyricists, but even you can admit, this is not what most of our young men are listening to these days.
Right. And that's why, and I think that's why we got to separate ourselves to a certain extent on that. And as older brothers and older men, we have to like tell young men, like, listen, we listen to certain things too, but if you take this as the gospel, that's where you're failing at. That's just like somebody playing a kid playing video games or watching certain movies and trying to reenact that. It's like, listen, this is what makes us different and why they make it where you got to be at least 17 to watch an adult movie. This or 18. This is why if you go in here, like remember coming up, right? When you go in the store, if you wasn't a certain age, you needed your parents to buy a record, right?
Right.
This is why you live life, learned lessons, got smarter, maybe watch other people's mistakes and got wiser. And the reason why I said with Meg music, I'm not saying she was a terrible person off her music, but what I'm saying is in society nowadays, they try to use women in any kind of way they can to get numbers. And I think that's very evil that you're going to say this type of music is an empowering to women. Because even Tupac said, I'm not trying to be somebody's role model in this aspect because you're not grown to listen to this. So I try to make music for these audience and I make music for that audience. And I'm not saying Meg separate the two. I'm not saying the City Girls separate the two. I'm not saying Cardi B separate the two. But then you'll see Cardi B turn off WAP when her daughter walks in the room. That's hypocritical because you don't know how many other
That's true,
children out
bro.
here
You,
listening
you
to your
can't let
shit.
your own kids listen to your artistry.
Thank you.
I actually really feel that. Like, hold up, bro. Your own children can enjoy your content. That's
And matter of fact, think about this as a father. Can you imagine raising your daughters, telling them you need to be independent so you don't need no man, but you're not teaching them that where you're at in your life, that you can teach them to look for a man that's somewhat similar to you. And I think when fathers teach their daughters that versus teaching them like, you know, the way I love you and care about you, you need a man like that cares about you at the end of the day like I do. But if they don't, I'm like, you need to look in the mirror as a father. If you can't teach your daughter that a man that resembles you, because most of the time women and men look for somebody in their mother and their father as a spouse. I make music and I've said that. And we gotta really pay attention to those things about ourselves and what does it say about us that we're gonna make our daughters wanna be like our wives and our sons be like our husbands. And
the
it's
big
wrong.
problem is we need our young men to start showing up because we got a lot of kids who aren't getting that example.
Hey
You know
yo,
what I mean?
hey yo, fellas, I gotta wrap it up. I gotta put my baby back to sleep and shit. But,
Oh man, then me and Taru need to do a show, then go live, man, because we talking about some shit.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
Hey, matter of fact, hey, did you you got your own channel?
Nah, bro, I'll just be hopping on Rob's shit,
Hey, I'm
JT stuff.
gonna put my channel in the link, and then me and you can carry on a little bit more conversation, depending on how long you want to stay. I'm gonna be up for a while, but if you want to carry on the conversation, so we can talk about some real shit, I'm gonna put my channel link in the description, so you can go ahead and subscribe, so that way I can start something and then we can
go ahead.
keep the conversation going. But go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Tuning in.
Bro.
This was a last minute thing, bro. I was busy all day and shit, and I saw these audios. You know what? I want to do a show on this shit. So yeah, man. Shout out everybody that tuned in. You know what I'm saying? Show the love. Make sure you like the. If you coming in late, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Hey man, shout out to my boy Op. You know, Op, tell them about you got shows on Sundays on JVJ Network. Tell them a little bit about it, real quick.
Oh yeah, this is what we do over here on the same thing y'all seen tonight. We do that all the time, every Sunday on the JVJ Network. Got my show 8 p.m. Eastern time. Also got Out from the North 18 to number 18, my channel that you can go ahead, come through, subscribe to. And we can just have real conversations. You know what I'm saying? I know people say crazy stuff here and there, but hopefully we can have some real conversations. Same way we had real one tonight. We didn't disrespect each other. We said our perspectives, whether we agreed or disagreed, we can respect where each other is coming from. So that's what I'm on.
Bro, yo, us three, we just had one of the chillest conversations. Like, like it.
That's why I love this YouTube space, man. We just to have good conversations that I can't have with my friends, family, or anybody else that's probably close to me. It seemed like conversations I want is in this YouTube space. And I appreciate everybody in this YouTube space.
Bro, we appreciate you, bro. Thank you for doing this, man.
But real quick, I put my link in the back chat for you.
Yeah, I already subscribed.
Cool. I put the what you call it so you can see it.
All right, Taro, you got anything to say?
Man, happy New Year's, Rob.
Happy
holidays, man. It was already a great year, but it was greater because guess what, man? I got to meet you and a whole bunch of other cool ass dudes, and like just being able to be in a space, in a digital space where we can have these conversations and really just express our thoughts. Because I know like a lot of us too, we're expressing our thoughts and thinking it out in real time. And it's just amazing to do this and to be comfortable doing this. Like, guess what, bro? Nobody's gonna ridicule us. And so that's what I hope our new year could be, bro, for all of us, more and more guys. Hey man, be confident enough in yourself or try to develop that confidence to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation and just have a conversation with some people you don't know because you might just vibe with them. Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. Absolutely, bro. Oh yeah, make sure y'all look out for us. JT was talking about doing a New Year's Eve show. I don't know. We might do it like before, like, I don't know, 11 o'clock. He was talking about doing some shit like that. So I might catch us later on today. But yeah, Happy New Year, y'all. Hey, got much respect and love for y'all, man. All right. And we out this motherfucker, man. What we know. And JBJ Network. Yeah.
At some point, we all got to come together. No. Everybody got opinions. Let's talk about it. Communication is key. Let's build around it. We do this for the people. The people founded it. Black love stay strong. No way around it. We anti-genocide. We ride for the cause. Got love for our sisters. And love for our dogs. Respect the young and elderly. You all been invited to be inspired. You come together. Better got violent. Gotta watch for the cops. Gotta watch for the ops. Gotta watch for the politicians that play with the eyes. If you know, then you know. Plant the seed and it grows. Welcome to the show. This is what we know. 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 Yeah. This is what we know.